And boom, we are live. Hello, everyone, and welcome to exactly what Natai is doing, whatever that is right now. Anyway,
I need to express joy.
Down.
yes. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Anime Club After Dark, the podcast that delves into all things anime, manga, and otaku culture related. I'm your host, Alex, but you can call me Senpai. And joining me tonight, I have our czar of source material, John.
I'm playing Elden Ring. Shut up.
Playing Elden Ring. Get the fuck out of my room. We have our
Listen.
poster extraordinaire, Natai, who's over there. You can't see my finger.
He's playing Elden Ring. Shut up.
And joining us again, this is like the third time I think you've been on one of our WTFs. We have Burger from the Geeks in the City podcast down there in the bottom right corner.
What's up? I'm slowly dying on the inside, but I'm not playing Elden Rings because, I don't think I want to die any more than what I am right now.
Dieting is hard. Dieting is very hard. Yeah, we've gotten together for yet another episode of our WTFs. So we're going to talk about whatever in the hell we want to tonight. But as all of these start off, we're going to start off with some questions from our Discord server from some of our followers. And there's a couple of them I actually saved for this one because I knew John was going to be on it, because I think some of these questions are actually apt for John. His answer is just going to be Elden Ring right now. But I want to get to those for John first because he actually wasn't on the last couple of WTFs that we did.
Yeah, someone wants to stream this on like Mondays when I have school.
Yeah, I know, right? It's kind of funny how it happens like that sometimes. By the way,
Right.
welcome back.
I just joined like mid class, just like, hey, what's up, guys? I'm in a Zoom call right now, but
I mean,
Just recording for a podcast. No big deal.
yeah, it's
mind me.
fine. It's fine. Don't worry
it's that
about it.
Sigma male grind set,
Yeah, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it at all.
Living the Sigma male life.
But one of the ones I wanted to put out for John in particular, but anyone else can respond to this too. It's from Parathis on our Discord server. He wants to know if you have any good web manga recommendations and where to read them, because he's running out of reading material.
Ooh, good web manga. So, good web manga.
Mm-hmm.
Like manhwa or just like mangas in general? Or
I would say
what does that even mean?
both.
Oh, so I'm currently reading Omniscient Reader's Viewpoint because I finished catching up on Overgeared and everything else, like solo leveling.
Oh my
finished
god,
and all that.
you're practically one of my best friends, John. It's insane. You talk about the same books every time.
So currently I'm reading that, and it's a pretty good story. Like it's not, I don't know if the MC is OP, but it's a pretty cool dynamic, I think, about like guy, he reads a book and then the book becomes reality, so he has a copy of the book and he's kind of like, he's an omniscient reader, but then he still has to like survive the book without being the main character. So I think it's a pretty interesting read. Now, where to read it? I don't know, dude. Just Google it. Like,
Yar.
Yar!
yeah, like,
Is it like that?
unfortunately, a lot of it's not available, like translated in English officially. So you've probably got to sail the high seas, and I'm pretty sure I'm not allowed to mention where I read stuff. So I read it legally.
Okay.
Translation's any good, if I may ask?
I liked how it was being translated by the first translator, but then the first translator said, "Fuck this series. There's like over 500 chapters. I'm out." So they've got a
Wow.
different person translating it now, and well, it's actually finished translating, so it's actually completed. So I'm hoping to finish it in the next 2 weeks. But the new translator basically was like, "Yeah, so the old translator didn't translate proper Korean to English, so the new translator's like, yeah, I'll do that." I've got to relearn all the names in actual Korean, and I'm like, oh, what do you mean I got to learn how to read Korean names?
Classy Ulysses on the chat says that's good that chapter 99 just came out today.
Oh,
And he also recommends Mercenary Enrollment.
I haven't dipped my toes into that like type of like books or whatever yet. But I've been told that, like, as John mentioned, like Overgeared is like really fucking good. So.
do you know Grid? Do you know Snoodles?
I know nothing. I know only secondhand
Yeah,
information.
Overgeared
Yeah.
gets a little bit repetitive. I think that one's like over 1,000 chapters right now.
It's long as fuck. Yeah.
But it's a good like development arc for the main character. Plus the oh my god, I'm about to die. I'm sorry, I'm trying to fucking escape from this.
A man
monster
fucking dies on stream.
literally. all
John
the time.
literally dies on stream. New clickbait title.
But it's a good development story of like zero to hero. In a typical, so Korean manhwa and like web novels in general have like this very particular trope of zero to hero.
Mm.
Like I don't know what it is just about Koreans that love doing that, but it's popular, it sells, and Overgeared is definitely about that. But it's good character development for the main character. Like he's kind of like an overbearing asshole that you just don't really care about. And he like evolves into a somewhat respectable person.
Okay.
So
Someone also in the chat is recommending Max Level Newbie.
I have seen that one around. I haven't read it because, I mean, I've been really busy with school and like work. Just it's tough, man. Like I'm 20 days on, 2 days off, or 28 days on, 2 days off right now for work. Just like for the rest of my life, I guess.
Welcome to being an adult, John. It
yeah,
sucks. It really sucks.
I didn't work at a fucking company that just is like slave drives you to work so much. But business is good, so why not, right?
Oh, another
Make all the overtime
recommendation
money.
is in the chat is The Beginning After the End. It's basically Jobless Reincarnation, but better, in my opinion.
Hey, whoa.
Wait.
What's that supposed to mean?
I gotta be honest with you. You're setting a very high bar for yourself, sir.
What's that supposed to mean?
All right. Well, hopefully that definitely helps round us out with his manga recommendations. All right. So the next question I have is from New Vegas Savior. What video game weapons do you want in real life? One of each, ranged and melee.
I got you, fam. Melee, it's the fucking blade from Metal Gear Rising that can cut anything. I love that shit.
Frequency blade.
Yeah, the high frequency
Wait,
blade. I love
the
that
one
shit.
that Raiden gets, or the one that Sam gets.
No,
I don't
the
even think
Raiden
Sam gets a high frequency one. does he?
No.
he
Sam
just gets-
is like just a big ass katana. It's not a high frequency. blade.
Yeah, his is just
It's
a
not
fucking
the same.
big ass katana. Yeah.
I mean, it looks cool. It looks sick as fuck, but it's not the high frequency blade. Love that shit. Just like let me hear some stupid ass Japanese heavy metal in the background and just fucking slash anything. For a ranged weapon, I'd pick, I think, portal gun. That seems like the most fun like object to have around.
That's a good
Cool.
question.
So, for melee weapon, I've just always been a fan of Stinger from Devil May Cry. I love that fucking sword. It's cool. It's just a fucking demon sword. There's nothing even special about it. It's just a hunk of fucking metal.
It's just cool as fuck.
It's cool as fuck. A close second would probably be the Iron Hunk or whatever the fuck it's called, the Dragon Blade.
Slayer?
Yeah, Dragon Slayer.
Yeah.
Just cause again, just a cool blade. Just no reason. It's not even powerful. It doesn't get any cool abilities. It's just the story behind it, right? And if it was in real life, it'd be like,
Can't even lift that shit.
Jeremy in chat says the dual disc.
That'd be pretty cool too, dude. Imagine if dual disc. I'm surprised we don't have dual disc like in VR right now, where you can just like.
I know, right? We can
Yeah.
you can actually
be super
summon these
cool.
like monsters.
Like now would be the
But-
perfect time for something like that, though, right?
And then for ranged weapons, probably God, what does Helsing call his guns? I don't know what
Ooh.
the 454 castles,
Oh,
whatever his freaking guns are called. I was gonna say
yes.
Ebony and Ivory, but that's Dante's guns.
That's
so I'm just
Dante,
gonna-
What?
Yeah.
I forget. What does he call his guns? He has names for them. I can't remember though.
I also can't remember them, but
Just
but
get a
those guns.
lightsaber. Yeah, you're right. Just get a lightsaber at that point.
I feel like a high frequency blade would be way cooler than a lightsaber.
High frequency
again-
blade is so
Is
fucking
it purple though, John? Is it purple?
It can be whatever color you want, man. It's a high frequency blade.
cool. We can make it purple.
It's,
Yeah.
you can get purple if you want. That's my
but-
favorite. That's one of my favorite like facial expressions that Samuel L. Jackson has ever done when he's talking to George Lucas about getting a purple lightsaber, and George Lucas is like, it could be purple, and he just looks at the camera and goes, For me, I know it's kind of like recency.
454. It is the 454. Shit, it just popped. 454 Castle Auto.
Yeah, but what does he call? He has names for the guns, though, doesn't he?
I swear he names the guns. I know that they're 454 castles, but
that's all I see on the wiki.
yeah, I swear he had names, but you might not. You know, it's been a while since I've watched Hellsing.
So this may be recency bias for me since I'm actually playing Skyrim at the moment, but I really like Dawnbreaker. I love the design of that sword. I really love it. So I would probably choose Dawnbreaker as my melee weapon, and for my ranged weapon, probably the Fat Man from Fallout.
Oh my god,
Fat Man is really good.
Mm.
Such a stupid gun.
It is such a stupid. Do you know it's based on a real concept the military created?
It's an actual design.
Yeah,
it's an handmade nuke.
Yeah, it's a shoulder-fired nuclear weapon launcher.
Jesus.
Humanity was a mistake.
If I remember right, it was I think it was called something like the oh jeez, it was named after an old senator. I can't remember now.
There's so many choices.
It is based. I'll look it up real quick, but it's Burger.
Senator
Hello,
Iron.
Burger is here.
Yeah.
Burger is here.
Yeah.
He's on the left now instead of the right.
Yeah, sorry, John.
I gotta look it up now because now it's bothering me that I can't remember what it was called that it was based off of. But yeah, that's what I would probably choose for my ranged weapon.
Fatman was such a fun weapon, honestly.
Weapons from that I wish were real.
From video games, yeah.
Video games. All right. So like, I really like the Master Sword, but it's just a plain ass sword. So something with a little more oomph. I would say like the Gunblade from Final Fantasy, Squall's weapon, because it's a gun and a sword. So, yeah. Final Fantasy 8. Hey man, it's super underrated. People tend to sleep on that one. But yeah, the Gunblade, Squall's weapon, and for ranged weapons, there's only one ranged weapon I would ever want, and that's the blue shell from Mario Kart. All right, if I could throw that shit at people in real life, what? Are you kidding me? Because no matter where you are in life, it will hit you. All right, you can honestly, the way how I look at it is John's at his graduation, he gets his diploma, and out of nowhere, he just gets hit with a blue shell. I just get to walk by him.
Never saw it coming.
Yeah, that's what I want. I want the blue shell from Mario Kart.
I found it out. It's the original concept that the military came up with for a portable and or shoulder-mounted miniature nuclear launch device was called the Davy Crockett.
Davy Crockett. Wow.
Yes, the Davy Crockett miniature nuclear launch device, originally designated as the M28.
Interesting.
So yeah, it is as ridiculous as it seems in Fallout. It was actually based on a real concept that the U.S. military came up with. All right, next question comes from Noir the Shadow Fox. Hypothetically speaking, what are your thoughts on a reverse isekai where the MC dies in a fantasy world and is reborn into our world, where magic doesn't exist and they try to get back to their world, and in the process hijinks ensue? You're kind of describing Gate.
I was about to say,
yeah, isn't that Gate?
It's pretty much describing Gate. I don't have to
feel like
think about it hypothetically. It's real.
Isn't the Devil's is a part-timer basically that? Like,
yeah, but I don't think he's actually trying to get back to the world he came from, really.
I mean, isn't he though? Isn't he like, well, he's making, because he...
Working at McDonald's is better, I suppose.
Yeah, working at McDonald's is so much better.
Pretty real. I don't know. It'll be kind of... Yeah, I've seen it a couple of times. It's like, literally, if you want to be technical, Thor is literally that, right? It's like, he was in another world.
Thor is the reverse isekai.
You heard it here, folks. Thor is the reverse isekai.
Thor is a reverse isekai. I love it. I love it.
Didn't know what was going on. He's throwing drinks on the floor. Another. I'm like, yo, what the fuck, man? People got to pay for that. Like,
I think it kind of like I think kind of defeats for me the purpose of isekai, because I like doesn't the cool shit about it is like exploring a whole different world than ours. So like it is
I mean,
fun.
from a comedy aspect, I feel like
yeah, from comedy aspect for sure. Totally agree. It's like a great idea, but
and I feel like I've read manga that's like that, where someone gets transported to the real world, and they like just don't understand what's going on. I feel like no man, you know how much manga is out there? It probably exists.
it's like the classic comedy of like fish out of water. It's basically
It is. Well, I mean, you can say that about some isekai as well, but like I feel like a majority of isekai is just the standard isekai where someone goes from our world to a fantasy world, and a very much a minority of isekai is the reverse isekai, where there's someone from the fantasy world coming to ours. And I think that's why I actually find reverse isekai more enjoyable because like it's not as common. Oh man, he's getting the glasses on. This is getting serious now.
Oh no, I'm just blonde as fuck. I was I'm like, man, oh, chat. Okay.
Yeah, there's chat there. You never heard of Gate? Well, you have now. Check it out. It's actually pretty decent.
What was the name of that movie with? I think it was Amy Adams, where she's a Disney princess and she gets transformed into our modern world. What was the name of that one?
I don't know, you watch Disney, that's kind of cringe, dude.
No, I haven't watched it. I remember trailers for it. It's old. Hold on. Oh shit! What was the name of that movie? Fuck. I remember watching a trailer for that when I was like 6 or something. I'll look it up.
That's an interesting question. Classic Ulysses asked, "Does the Fate series count because the servants are coming to the real world? Is the Fate series really just a reverse isekai?"
Because they're still like fighting and it's still like fantasy, like they're...
It's not the focus of them. I mean, you know, like in Zero, there's like some bits of like whether it's Alexander or like other people like reflecting on modern society, right? But that's specifically in Zero. And Stay Night, there isn't much of it.
Not where it's like, oh, I gotta get a job now. Fuck. What? What? I can't just be. I gotta go get a degree, and it's like 20 episodes of them trying to get into applying different colleges. It's like, what?
Pyra says, "What if the power of God in anime meme kid is actually the reverse isekai protagonist?"
His scream actually activates Titan power.
No, he didn't. The power didn't activate because he's in our world.
True. Never mind. You're correct.
Just like that meme that everyone's been using with like that Aaron, where it's like he's the second guy telling you to do stuff. Just
Yeah,
like that happened. That face he has all the time in his second thoughts. Was like his manager yells at him. He's like, "You should fucking deck this guy."
Do that.
I never actually thought about the idea of the Fate series being a reverse isekai. It's an interesting thought.
Isn't like I haven't watched it, but isn't Recreators sort of that?
I mean, Recreators is like budget Fate, because you know heroes get summoned to our world to fight someone for the fucking Holy Grail. So quite literally, it's the same thing.
I need to watch it from the very little.
I've seen three episodes of it, so I obviously like it might not be that, but that's what it seemed like to me. But again.
I think
could have been something different,
sort of like that, where it's like it's this God thing, and it's like, oh, I'm here to live in your world. Well, no, not really, because it's like,
not really.
Nah, not really.
Why would I? Why
wouldn't
I? Come on.
So Jashin-chan, Dropkick, yeah, that one's like some evil god gets summoned to the real world, and she has to kill the summoner to get sent back to the demon world. So I guess there's that.
Yeah, but like I guess, like, I think a reverse isekai, like, the entertaining point of it is that when you see an isekai, it's like, okay, they have to adapt to this new world. They gotta do all this, like, things. They're over here pulling cell phones out. It's blowing people's mind. And, like, a reverse one is like, all right, life is kind of boring over here, right? And, like, watching characters for the first time experience road rage. Just why won't they move out of traffic? And it's like, oh.
I can empathize with that.
And of course, it's an Italian taxi driver in New York.
Yeah, like, they eat a pizza from New York City and they get a stomach ache and they're like, "What's going on here?"
all I can think about is like Coming to America. Like that's literally
Yes,
just that.
yes. Oh god, I love that
That's an
movie
isekai.
so much. I love that movie. Oh, I want to do a watch party in our Discord
We
server.
should do a watch party.
Didn't they make a part 2 where his son comes to America to find like a
It came out
princess
this year,
or
right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
something like that.
it's not
Or last
that
year,
great, but it's not bad either. It's all right. All right. So, Enchanted is the name of the Disney movie you were thinking of. at the time.
Enchanted, that's the one.
Yeah, Encanto.
Yeah,
Encanto, yeah.
we don't talk about Bruno Bucciolati. Fate series is better than Demon Slayer all day every day. That is false.
That's a bold statement.
That's a bold statement, but it's also
Depends.
false.
Depends.
A lot of new weeaboos out there that would fight you.
Yeah, I know. Those are some fighting words right there, man.
Fight.
Get out of here, you boomer! Like,
The hero return is basically that concept. The MC went to a fantasy world, became a hero, and came back in the modern world, but fate screws him and becomes a bad guy and kills everyone. That's a twist.
What?
What a twist!
That's pretty wild.
That
Not
is
gonna
pretty
lie.
wild.
What do you think of people who trying to create a narrative that Star Wars is an isekai?
No, it's a story that happened a
Long time ago. in a galaxy far, far away.
Yeah.
Eh.
So stupid. So stupid. Like,
I like to think
even-
that it's just. I like to think that it's actually just taking place in the Milky Way just a long time ago, and like so far ago that like millions of years ago, and like now that we're here, like all the Jedi and they're all dead. Like everyone died, and humans are the only thing that are left in the galaxy.
and
I would like
midichlorians, Alex.
And
I would like
midichlorians.
to think that the Death Star was actually the planet Pluto, and it got blown the fuck up.
Oh shit.
And that's why people are like, "Yeah, it's not a real planet," and it's like,
Yeah, soon. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with Twitch. It seems to be fine on YouTube, so it wouldn't be an Anime Club After Dark stream if there weren't some technical issues.
Probably Charlie is doing a massive stupid thing
probably.
with dildos, so it's tanking Twitch.
Dildos. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with Twitch right now. I'm actually recording this locally, so when we're done with this, I'm actually going to upload the VOD as an actual video. So hopefully it'll look even better
last
than this.
time, right?
Yeah, well, last night when I was
right.
streaming, it actually got so bad that I had to end the stream. It was like the stream was 10 minutes behind, and I couldn't do. I don't know. But I fiddled with some settings on my router and my my modem, and it kind of fixed it. So I don't know what's going on with Twitch. YouTube seems to be working fine for now. I hope. Twitch has been having technical issues for the last couple of days for a lot of people. Okay. Then that's good to know. Did we already answer fan questions? We're actually in the middle of that. And actually, since you're here soon, I'll ask everyone your question. So Soon wants to know, you get your choice of either an aluminum or a wooden bat. How many third graders do you think you can fight before going down?
Okay,
One.
how big? One, because I collapsed at the guild of what I just did.
Yes.
Yeah.
wooden bat, 100%. That's what I'm grabbing.
I take a wooden bat for sure, and I think I could take at least 10 before going down. Especially if I'm aiming
Okay,
for the
wait,
head.
no, but
How would you
does
go about
the
it?
aluminum bat get a rubber grip? Because I feel like that would be a good factor in that,
Mm.
right?
Yeah, Soon, since you're here, can we use rubber grips? Or do we have to use the bat as it is?
You also need to remember
And can
that,
I
like,
make the wooden bat out of oak? Or does it have to be whatever we use for baseball?
Depends on the wood. It might break too soon. You
That-
don't-
Yeah,
if
that's
you
what I'm
I'd
push
want-
hard.
like,
I'd want an oak bat, not a cedar bat.
I mean, I feel like the problem here is that I'm actually considering how many third graders could I beat up with a baseball bat?
Your preference. Well, if I yeah.
Like,
If-
what are the logistics behind this? Because it greatly varies.
If you're talking about longevity of the attack, you'd want to not like fucking smack him in the head with it. You'd want to go the wrestling route of just pushing it like towards their stomach or something instead.
Yes.
Third graders are pretty fragile, so I think you can literally.
Oh man, see, no, this is the terrible thing. We should not be attacking kids. See, the fact that we're even entertaining the fact that we're entertaining how to even beat up kids with a fucking baseball bat.
Whoa, pause. Isn't the whole concept if I'm a third grader as well, Or I'm
No,
an
no, no.
adult?
You're an adult. You're a
Oh,
full ass
hell
adult.
no, man! I'm a teacher, man. I'm turning up.
I told you, man.
Oh.
Don't get caught lacking. This is what I'm saying. What?
Wait. So this is Toon just trying to get us canceled.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah,
Burger got canceled already. He's gone.
I'll come back when the next question come back.
All right. How heavy is? That's a good question. Like, so, Soon as saying it's our preference. So if it's our preference, I would go with
Oh
an
no!
oak.
Stop entertaining him.
I know. I would go with an oak bat with a rubberized grip,
No.
and I think I could
Stop.
at least.
What are you doing? This
I-
is not a good question to answer. No.
I think I could at
You
least
shouldn't be
take 10
thinking of how
before
to
going
attack
down
third
myself.
graders. What?
Yeah,
what
it's
put you in
actually
position?
trying to like inform us of a fantasy he has.
What type of? I need to inform you of a psychiatrist I know. This doesn't need to be done. What? In what world were you like? Second graders are too young. Fourth graders.
Third graders, though, that's right in the middle. It's kind of iffy.
Right.
It's iffy. It's iffy. It's
Is
that
this
gray area.
isekai you guys are on? That time I got reincarnated as a grown man in a school with a bat. Like
That time I
that's
got
a good-
reincarnated as an abusive father.
So anyway, the answer to that question would be none because I couldn't live with the weight of my sins if I did such a thing.
give me your Lunchables.
Yeah.
And your
Um,
edibles. What?
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 What? Pass that shit
Kind of
over
third
here.
graders
Natai.
be walking to school with freaking edibles, man. Where you live? The inner city?
He's just like, all right, so we got 2 more questions left. This is another good one for John, I think. From New Vegas Savior, he wants to know what manga, when adapted, had the biggest change in tone.
Fucking interspecies reviewers.
Yes, exactly.
That's right, actually. Yeah.
Like the manga itself is actually pretty tame. Like it's not bad. And then you got the fucking anime, which is like porn. Like
You got us so much trouble.
No, we've talked about this in the podcast. Like, we genuinely believe that Interspecies Reviewers is a fucking phenomenal anime.
It's a great comedy, dude.
yeah,
It's
I
a
don't
show for the whole
understand-
family.
Literally.
It's really not. Oh god. Yeah, I don't know what went through the animation director's mind when he was like, all right, so we're gonna make this basically just porn. Like it kept all the satirical stuff in it and the comedy, and so it works really well. But
Yeah.
yeah, like
Mm.
that obviously changed the entire tone of the fucking premise of the fucking thing. Because reading it, it's just like lighthearted. Oh yeah, we're gonna go fuck dryads today. Oh, we're gonna go fuck harpies today, and that's it. It's literally.
But in the anime, they actually go fuck Drew.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, they went the full 10 with that. It is just like
Sounds
this
like a
turn
dude.
from like a lighthearted, like ecchi, like a lighthearted kind of perverted comedy to just like straight up porn. So
Mm-hmm.
Sound like a dude who wants to hang out with third graders with a bat. That's what. He wants
I don't know what's he gonna do with that bat, though. To be honest, I'm afraid to imagine that.
Sounds like the dude.
So one of the things that he actually mentioned in his question that he sent us was and he said that he was inspired to ask this question by listening to our review of Appleseed that we did, because the source material that it's based on does have a slightly different tone. It is a little more happy, I guess you would say, that it has like lighthearted elements to it, whereas the anime adaptation doesnt really.
yeah, the anime adaptation totally went a different route of like, because I mean, I'm pretty sure, like, I never went to check, but I think they all were spawned from Robotech, right? Like that was the OG like
certainly inspired by
mecha anime or whatever.
Yeah.
But
You mean like Macross?
yeah, Macross.
Yeah.
I know that one was inspired by Robotech, but I'm not entirely sure if Appleseed as well was. But point is, the movies are definitely a lot more action-packed and dramatic, but it's a better direction in my opinion. It just makes for a better medium. I can't speak to the longevity of the show because like I don't know. I did not like Appleseed Alpha. Like I really tried to like it. I don't like Alpha. I don't know what it is. It just somehow progressively got worse.
Also, another good example I think is Ghost in the Shell, because from what I've seen of the manga, it seems much more quirky and sort of like more like, you know, fun and all. And then they adapted it to the movie, and the original movie is like really, you know, very grounded, sort of very serious in some terms. It's very different from the manga in that aspect.
I think there are a lot of examples of things like this, right? Full Metal Alchemist being the biggest one.
Yeah.
You know, but then it was like, all right, here's the version you kind of wanted, right? And it's like, oh, great. You know, a comic got killed, went down the same route of, this is very, very fucking different. For me, probably Chibi Vampire. It's an old manga I read when I was a kid. It's called Karen, I think. And I got every volume to this day.
Oh, nice.
I like how he's looking for it. Like, let me go show this shit.
It's around here somewhere, man. Like,
check my resume.
But like,
check the receipts.
You know what? I'll use a better example. It's a video game, so it's not a manga. But the Ace Attorney, I was so fucked. I was like, what the fuck is this? Like,
Yeah.
it's so different. Like, they're over here speeding through plots. They're adding characters I don't know.
The sad thing about the Ace Attorney anime adaptation is, like, it's first, because it actually has 2 seasons, and very few people even bothered to watch the second season because the first season's adaptation was so bungled. And it's a shame because the second season actually takes the adaptation of the final game, like, pretty much, like, beat for beat. And, like, the final case in that third game is fantastic, and they do it so well in the second season. But yeah, you're right. The first season of the anime adaptation was not that great.
Yeah, it lost me, and I'm a die-hard fan, so I was like tight watching this shit. I was like, man, I'm only watching this because if I don't, they won't make no more games. So, like,
no, they will. They'll still make games. People don't realize this, but Ace Attorney is actually Capcom's second most valuable property.
It's huge.
It sells like hotcakes. Every single Ace Attorney
huge.
game sells like hotcakes in Japan.
Yeah, man, I'm glad that we finally got the other one finally like licensed to get like an English like dub towards it.
And official.
An official dub. I auditioned for that game too.
You did.
And they was like,
Nice.
And like we're only casting like out of like London talent. I was like, fuck, man.
Put on your best Cheerio accent, boys.
I was so mad because all the actors are super new. I was like, yo, that could have been my start, yo. I could have been Herlock Sholmes. Like, I could have been
Herlock Sholmes.
Herlock Sholmes.
You know, like
Is that an actual character in the
Yes,
game?
it is. Herlock Sholmes is
Oh
an actual
my
character
God.
in Ace Attorney.
It was like, damn, this Sherlock character seems really iffy if we bring
Would you rather Kingdom get a good adaptation but Hunter x Hunter never get finished, or get an ending to Berserk but the Vagabond anime be worse than Berserk 2016? I would love an actual ending to Berserk.
that?
Can we
Wait,
Jeremy in the chat, who I think is actually our teacher sensei in our Discord server.
What kind of evil person would ask me this question?
Yeah, this
That's
is kind of
that's cruel.
It is
so
yeah,
cruel.
like-
so cruel, so cruel.
You have 4 dreams like in front of you, and you can only have one. Like,
and the rest of
why?
them get crushed.
Yeah, like no, it's
It's not even that the rest of your dreams don't come true. They all just become true, but in the worst possible way they could.
Yeah.
It's the equivalent
Why?
of saying you have 3 children, but you can only kill 1. It's like, what? Why would I? But I'm like, what? Like, why?
kill one. You mean save one?
No,
Like,
kill one
like-
No.
with a baseball bat.
Oh my god, we're not going back to that. I would say,
no.
given, I like Berserk so much. I want an ending to Berserk.
Yeah, me too.
Dude.
Like,
We need to
As
just
much as
resurrect Miura. We need to, like, first of all, Jesus needs to do the second coming, and he needs to just do the Lazarus
Oh,
thing on
Lord.
Miura.
Dude,
but
I don't
I
even-
really like Vagabond a lot too, though. So it's a really tough decision. But just because of the whole Berserk thing being so recent, yeah, I'd have to go with Berserk.
Okay.
Like Berserk is so hard. Like I'm kind of I don't know if I came to terms with it yet, but I'm like trying to get myself ready to finish all the chapters that are out. But man, I'd do anything that if they'll make like a good Berserk anime adaptation. Like man, I wish.
You'll have to hire someone who's a damn good writer to finish it off, though.
I don't want anyone else to finish.
Oh, but then it'd be
I
a
don't want anyone else
bastardized
to finish
version.
it.
It wouldn't be the original.
Yeah,
I would
I
hate
don't-
that.
I'd rather Berserk be an unfinished masterpiece, dude.
I'd rather Trinity Blood get it finished. Like, I used to love that damn. Like, what?
I'd rather Shaft get off their asses and give us the rest of the Monogatari manga or anime personally, but
Dude, can you imagine like the later arcs in Berserk in anime form. Like, damn. I'd die. I'd want to see that.
So would a lot of people in the show.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe because it's like it's been so long, and it's just like I need an ending. Like it hurts my heart so much that I'm never gonna see the ending of it. I spent so much time.
Soon wants to know if I can ask our guest an old question I asked you. Sure. I mean, you can ask.
Answer.
Will he answer? I don't know. You can ask. Berserk does deserve closure, 100% though.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's right. The manga who made Tokyo Mew Mew passed away a few days ago. Right as we're about to get a remake of Tokyo Mew Mew.
Unfortunate.
Very unfortunate. I'm going to move on to the next question while we wait. And actually, it's our final question from our Discord server for this one. It's from Satora, and it's kind of a deep question. Where do you guys see yourself 5 years from now?
Oh, we're... well...
At the top of the voice acting industry.
Yeah, I'm kind of killing it right now in my career. So, I don't know. The real person I want to find out is John, because I want to win.
Agreed.
Shit, I don't know, doing the same shit I'm doing right now. Like, what? Streaming, playing games. Just want to be chilling, man. Like, honestly, real question, or like just for real. Hopefully, I'll have my game out. Hopefully, I become successful and I can just do making games for a living. Because I honestly hate working a 9 to 5. It's the worst thing in the world. I'm a lazy bastard, so I'm hoping to become just, rich overnight so I don't have to work ever again in my life, so I can just do this.
John, I got you, bro. I'll become rich for you. And then
and invest. He'll become your first investor.
I'll be just like, John, listen, I can help you achieve everything you want to achieve. But take this baseball bat first.
No!
There's an old school I don't like. Do my work, and you won't have to ever work again.
Every time you hear Oni-chan, you swing the bat.
Dude, you gotta change up your words, man. You can't be like, hopefully, man. You gotta be like, when I get there. I know exactly how you feel, but it is really about just putting that mentality on, like, oh, this is going to work out. I don't know exactly how. I can't say that.
See, I'm a very pessimistic type of guy, and I understand the industry enough to, like, dude, everyone wants to be famous. Everyone wants to be an actor. Everyone wants to, like, have clout and be fucking Logan Paul, Jake Paul, whatever. I get that. And unfortunately, just like becoming a sports star. Everyone wants to be a sports star. You might have been really good at your school. You might have been playing pro in football. You could have been on the right track when you were in college, and you still would amount to nothing, right? Like, the success stories out there severely outweigh how many people chase those dreams.
I have
100%.
I have to counter you because I have students where where they literally hit me. And don't get me wrong, like, I understand exactly where you're coming from, but the idea of it is that if you have something that you want to do, technically you can do it. Now, will it be successful? That's a different story, right? Will I be a successful voice actor in 5 years? I would like to hope. But will I be one? Well, I am one now. But like 4 or 5 years ago, I was like, man, it would be nice to do that and get paid for it, right? The idea is to get yourself in a situation where you're like, well, I won't be working a 9 to 5 because this is what I'll be doing, right? Now, whether that be all you're doing, I don't know. But you got to start changing. You got to start changing how you look at it. I know it sounds crazy. I know it'd be like, man, look, that shit don't work. But I was in that boat too, and shit started working out. And
I definitely understand where you're coming from. That headspace is very important, especially when you're on a grind.
Like, look, man, when you fail, then you can deal with that shit. But until then, you just smile. I don't know, like it's
true.
Rough. It's rough, but I've been in a 9 to 5 situation, and I've just gotta in a position where it's like, okay, not only can you do this stuff, right? Like a year ago, like a year and a half ago, I was broke as hell. I'm still broke, just in case somebody might know where I live. So,
it's like, hold on, IRS, he's not broke.
gotta make that clear real quick. But I was broke as hell, like a year and a half ago, right? And even like really 2020 was where like stuff started spiraling like down for me, right? Because everyone was broke, but I was I was doing stand-up comedy. I was I thought that was gonna be my life, and then the shit was gone. And then I was like, I guess I got into acting. And go. Oh man, it'd be nice if I could be in the show one day and stuff like that. But then as time came on, and I started making new goals from within that realm and things like that. And then the goal was, man, I want to be able to make money to at least. So this is something I can focus on, and that's it. I don't care what I get cast in, but I want to make enough money where I can just do this. And then I started doing that, and I was like, okay, cool, right? So yeah, the goal was to be in this one thing, but like I made other stuff. Like, man, I'm trying to in 5 years, man, I'm trying to license my own shows. Like, I'm trying to license I'm trying to build my own anime.
Fuck yeah, dude.
And we'll be there not doing jack shit, and we'll be like, hey, we knew that guy.
I'm gonna make John.
We were there first.
I'm clipping everything right now. The whole baseball kids and the bat thing. I'm gonna bring it up. I'm gonna bring
cancel.
it up.
Right at my level of success, you come out. This is how you really feel. It's like, oh, word.
Classy
Can't
Ulysses
have
says he
chasing
likes
your
our
dreams like that, man.
Classy Ulysses says he likes our Ben Affleck Batman. No, thank you. Ida is the one that makes all of our thumbnails, and we absolutely love him.
Praise Ida.
I think it's exactly as Class said. Like, anything can happen in 5 years. Anything
Absolutely
can happen.
Yeah.
So you gotta keep that open.
Bro, I don't even know what my life's gonna look like next year. I don't even. So 5 years from now.
Man, I don't know what my life is gonna look like next week, but I know it's
I know,
good as hell.
right?
So
okay. So Dustin, actually, since you are in the voice acting space, this is actually a good question. If you could meet any celebrity voice actor or not, who would it be and why?
Or not?
I don't know why he said or not, but I just read it.
Is he alive or not?
Yeah, a dead voice actor. You want to meet a dead voice actor? Go to the grave.
If I can meet a zombie and be like, hey, if I can meet any voice actor, crazy thing is that I've met all really my favorite voice actors, right? Like Troy Baker. I met Troy Baker before he got in trouble, so I was like, ooh wee, got that bullet.
Ooh, the good old days.
Just before he committed career suicide.
Ooh man. My favorite voice actor is an actor no one knows. His name is Eric Kelso. And the only reason I really like him is because when I was a young little burger, when I was a young little patty in the freezer, I had a game called Bait and Kaitos on a GameCube. It was my favorite game because it's the first game that I can visit. I remember my father buying, and I was like, okay, cool. And I was mad at first because I was like, man, I wanted Naruto Clash of Ninja. What the fuck is this? And he was like, nah, that's too pricey, man. Take me to this $15 class. And he picked out something. And the actor in that game, the main person, his name was Eric Kelso. And that's the first JRPG I can remember feeling something. And man, I was going out my way. I was hooking up the GameCube to the VCR, recording. I had this whole streaming shit on lock before anyone was doing it, man. That's all I know. I was doing all these tricks and things.
But did you do it before Christian?
I think so.
Because he's technically the first Let's Player.
I really think, man, I didn't save none of my footage. That's the problem. So I can never prove it. But then I reached out to him and we spoke, and he lives in Japan and stuff like that, and we became really good friends. And
that's awesome.
Yeah, that's cool. The sad part about it is I was like, yo, man, I have all these memories about this game you was in. I just want to say thank you. He was like, man, it'd be nice if I could remember doing that fucking game, but I'm glad it meant something to you. And I was like, all right, fuck. Whatever, dog, whatever, homie. But yeah, that's for voice acting. If I can meet any stand-up comedian, that's those are different scenarios. I have different things.
Jerry Seinfeld.
No.
Actually, I have a good pick that overlaps with the two of them, but he passed away. Robin Williams.
Robin Williams would have been somebody I would have loved to talk to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A fascinating man. Yeah.
I spilled coffee on myself. God damn it.
Oh, sorry.
It's the ghost of Robin Williams.
Yeah, the ghost of Robin Williams spilled coffee on me.
Yeah, maybe the voice actor for Homer Simpson. You know what I mean? That's blanking on his name right now, but I'll look it up. Things like that really because those memories still mean something to me, right, to this day. So
yeah,
if I can meet people who influence me in some way, then 100%, I'm like, yeah, But as far as like voice acting celebrities, like I've been lucky to meet a lot of those people. So I'm pretty like I'm making new stuff all the time.
Classy Ulysses said someone that I actually would think satisfies both of these: a live action actor and a voice actor. Mark Hamill. I'd love to meet him.
Yeah.
I spoke to Kevin Conroy once. That was cool.
Yeah, he mentioned Kevin
shit.
Conroy too. I actually met him at a convention one time. He's a pretty cool dude.
Yeah, he was dope.
That's awesome.
Yeah. All right. So I think that's all of the questions that we have from our Discord server. If you guys do have questions and you're on our Discord server, feel free to ask them in our Ask Us Anything channel. If you're not a member of our Discord server, there is a link down below where you can join as long as you are 18 plus. I'm going to just move into some of the stuff that we wanted to talk about tonight. And the first thing I want to talk about, I'm so excited, y'all. So we are in an era where everything seems to be getting remade. And to a certain degree, I don't like that. But when I hear news like this, I can't help but be happy. One of my favorite things ever is getting a remake, and it's Spice and Wolf. And no one saw this coming. I
Wait,
certainly
so
No,
it's
I'm sorry,
actually going to be a remake?
Yeah, it's
Like,
not
a
it's not a
yeah,
third
it's a full
season. It's not a
adaptation.
continuation, and I think it's going to be a complete adaptation of the light novels.
No way.
Yeah, I mean, so very little is actually out about this so far. We do know that it's not a third season. It is actually a remake from the very beginning. We don't know anything about like episode count, when it's airing, the studio that's doing this, anything. We just know that it's happening and it's
Well, if
currently
it's a
in
full
production.
adaptation, I hope I get 24 episodes for 2 seasons, right?
I think it would actually take maybe 3 seasons worth of the
Watch they do.
Now, does this include the
spring
No,
logs,
yeah,
the
that's-
side stories.
Yeah.
Probably not, because those were never included in the original adaptation anyway. They're really
Maybe
they're
this
really
could
just
be as,
world
like
building.
OVAs.
They could
Maybe
they could be
made
done as
as
OVAs, yeah, perhaps. I don't know. I'm so happy about that shit that I was talking to
It's the best
Natai.
timeline, dude.
It is the best time. So like, there's so much stuff that we never thought was gonna be getting like remakes and edit. I never saw the remake of Fruits Basket coming, and that was fucking fantastic.
Yeah, that was great.
I hope that they get the same team that worked on that to work on the Spice and Wolf remake, because they did such a good job with that Fruits Basket remake. Like it's actually better in my opinion than the original anime. Well, mostly because it's a complete adaptation, but also
that
because
helps.
like I feel like the voice acting is better. I feel like the art is better. I feel like the animation is better. I just feel like all around it's so much better. I did go full holo simp. You're absolutely right. I will be a holo
Dude,
simp
you're
until
losing
the
your
end.
goddamn mind. I remember
That night,
day.
you thought I was fucking joking. You thought it was like a trick. You're like, no way, no. The night
I was
that
like, no fucking way. What are you talking about?
yeah, and like I literally cried. Like when that news came out and I was actually able to confirm that it's true. I cried. I spent like an hour crying because I was so happy about it.
I think that's cool though. I think the idea, because there's a lot of shows that like I've given up on, right? Like maybe like it's out of nowhere, like out of the blue, like randomly, they were like, "Hey, we're redoing Air Gear and we're gonna like complete it." I'll be like, "Oh, word!" or if they completed like School Rumble or something like that, because I never.
Well, what
I had
about the second season of The Devil's a Part-Timer that came out of nowhere?
Yeah.
no way,
But
dude.
but you see, the thing is with shows like that, like I knew it was coming, I just forgot about it because I was like, oh, it ended on a cliffhanger, right?
Mm-hmm.
School Rumble just stopped, right? Air Gear never fully completed at all. But I didn't. Once again, we talk about shows that manga from show that don't follow.
I mean, hey, they're finishing up Bleach soon. Literally
Yeah.
adapting the final arc. Yeah.
That's something that people have given up on because they were like, oh,
Yeah.
it's been so damn long, and it's going to take another 20 damn years because they Tai Kubo made another small little arc, and I'm like, damn, how long is it going to take to get that into an anime adaptation? I think it should be good. If it's made into a movie, I'll be cool with it. But yeah, man, I think that stuff is great. There's a lot of things that it really, if they could make it, I would love to see. I just hope they don't do you dirty, man, and make it CGI, yeah.
Nah, I'm hoping so too. Like,
It says they care.
From the promotional art I've seen so far, granted, there's really only one thing that's been released. It looks like it's not going to be like a full CG project. I'm hoping. There's a few things that I hope. Number one, it's obviously a complete adaptation of the light novels. If they want to separate it from the new light novels that are coming out, the Wolf and Parchment ones, I'm fine with that. It doesn't have to be an adaptation of everything that's out with the Spice and Wolf like universe. I want the original voice actors to come back because, like, as far as I know, everyone is still, both of the main characters are still, the voice actors for the main characters are still alive. Both the Japanese and English voice actors. What else do I want? I want it to be made with care. I want it to be made with the same amount of care that the Fruits Basket remake was made with. That's really what I want.
Not a downside. One of the more challenging things is that bringing back voice actors, because like the dubbing world right now is sort of in like a flux, right? Because in the dubbing world, they're trying to push for you because anime pays jack-ish, right? So
there's a huge unionization push in the voice acting industry right now.
Yo, dude, I want health benefits, yo. Like, I want all that stuff, and you can't qualify when you do a show. Like, I'll give you a prime example. Let's say you was you worked on let's say you worked on the show as an actor, right? Let's say you have a prominent part. You're 9. Let's say episode count is like you're in 8 episodes, right? But you're a prominent character. Honestly, cash wise, probably make like $170 for that whole thing, right? And that's not a lot of money at all, right? Especially when you consider about, because you don't get residuals for merchandise, you don't get none of that stuff. The only time you can really make anything is like you get invited to cons and people come to see you. So like, there's been a whole like, hey, let's not show them we're dubbing everything to show them so they can increase the budget, because being paid $35 an hour for a voice gig is unacceptable. And I'm concerned because people are trying to go on strike. They're trying to make a stand on it. So I can see a lot of the original voice actors being like, I'm not gonna do this until this rate goes up. I think we saw the same thing with Futurama, right? Where literally, I'm not
John
gonna
DiMaggio?
Yeah, John DiMaggio was actually wanting a legitimate like salary, and they weren't.
Like,
they didn't want to give it to him.
It was like they were trying to like recast, and people were like, let's not do that. We're gonna stand in because we want him, and they've reached the deal. And it was like, okay, you have the money. So I hope it's something where like that doesn't happen, where they're like, well, here's some new actors, because then that takes away the experience. But it's all interesting right now. It's all interesting.
It's like I mean, it's not quite the same, but they announced a couple years ago that they wanted to do more a continuation of the Boondocks animation, and like, okay, that was great. And then like shortly after they announced it, the voice actor for Granddad died, and I'm like, well, don't recast him. It's not gonna be the same. It's not gonna be the same.
Was the Spice and Wolf dub Funimation?
Yes, it was.
So I wonder what's gonna happen with that now, considering Funimation is Crunchyroll now.
That's something that someone on I think it was Twitter brought up, and I can't remember who it was for the life of me, but someone was like, they were concerned that since Crunchyroll was essentially taking over everything to do with Funimation, this is going to be a drop in physical releases for anime going forward.
That's the question of both physical releases and dubs that were made in-house for Funimation. Like, what's going to happen with all these?
Is it going to get absorbed into Crunchyroll? Are they actually going to do this? Or are they going to like do it for a little while to placate people and then drop it?
The idea of the merge is that they're trying to just get more views. Funimation as a company, they're not shutting down. They're still dubbing.
They're rebranding.
They're
the question is, though, how is it gonna be restructuring itself in any way, shape,
like internally restructuring?
That's a concern.
From the people I spoke in there, honestly, people don't. It's like right now everything is being overshadowed by this whole "let's get union." Right.
Gotcha.
No one knows anything right now. But from what I understand, from the people who I know, they were like, "No, it's not looking like that." Right. But they're looking at this as an opportunity to be like, okay, we should 100% get paid more. Like,
obviously, yeah, for sure.
Like now, like as cool as this is, there's more views and all that stuff. We need more money, and that's been like the main topic. My bad if this like took away from like the happiness of of your show.
No,
No, I think
No,
it's
it's
a good,
need to be
this is a
paid.
good. This is good to talk
There's a
about.
good yeah, this is
well,
a good
yeah,
discussion.
it's a good discussion point about like just the whole gig career nowadays, right? Like, there's a bunch of people just who do gigs, and everyone's like, oh yeah, I can do this as a side hustle, this and that. But there's people who are legitimately using it as a career,
Hmm.
and because of all this gig work, like with things like services like Fiverr, for example, there's a
Mm.
bunch of people who accept really low bids for gigs, and it's like you're selling your work short, right? Like
Yeah.
same thing
Yeah.
for voice acting. There's people out there who are okay with just 35 an hour. That's a dream, It's like, dude, it really
yeah,
isn't.
Yeah. And the idea is, okay, let's get these people in, right? Because great, they're gonna move the industry forward. Because for me, because I've seen a couple like auditions from like Funimations and things like that, and like they don't pay a lot, but because I know how much anime has affected me when I was a kid, I'm always willing to do it, right? Everyone else who's been doing it, is Dorothy Fa, all these like voice actors, they didn't
It's
see
from
much
passion.
money. Yeah, they didn't see much money going into it. They went into it where like, well, this probably won't make a lot of money, but it's fun, right? Now it makes a lot of money. Like it makes a shit ton of money. And now with like more animes, like movies going straight to theater and things like that, like it's embarrassing and it's disrespectful to be like, all right, let's keep it like let's keep it at this low rate. That's like working at a job for 15 years. You don't get a raise, you don't get nothing, but you've ranked up to supervisor. But you don't ever like your pay never increase. And it's not like you hate your job, but it's like, yo, this company is making money now, so I should be making a little more if you value me. And
Yeah, and a lot of that has to deal with like, don't get me started on unions. All right, I'm part of a union. I'm very pro union. I will talk your ear off about unionizing and how everyone should get, like workers should control the means. But even in like game industry, for example, there's a lot of people moving towards. There was recently a studio that just unionized. I don't know which one it was. I think it's over in like the East Coast or something. But a lot of people are realizing like, hey, we're making a shitload of money for these companies, and we're getting paid fucking peanuts.
yeah,
Like, if you create an IP that fucking makes 24 million, like a team of, let's say, I don't know, AAA teams of 400 people, right? And the most someone's making there is probably a senior developer or something like that, and they're like getting paid 150 to 250, 100,000. That's quite a lot of money, but everyone else is just making like what, 96K, 200, like not nearly 200K, and they're bringing in millions of dollars for the company every year. That's insane, dude. Like,
Yeah.
Nuts.
how can you be part of this team that helped develop and make this thing that has grown and amassed something like, let's say, 100 million, in its 3 years of just being an IP, and you only get $300,000 for your 3 years of working on it? That's
I
insane.
can't imagine working on GTA 5, the most successful video game of all time, and not getting paid. Almost.
And a lot of that has to do
At
with
all.
like a lot of people in the industry, like they're used to crunch, they're used to doing this and that. Like you don't get paid overtime. A lot of companies don't pay you overtime, and it's kind of just like you got to get the job done. Like you work when you can work, because right now is the only time you can work, because you're at that phase of production. And a lot of people are going to be working 80-hour weeks, and when you put it into that perspective, like 100,000 is nothing to sneer at. That's pretty good amount to be paid for a job, like a 9 to 5, for sure. But the amount of effort you're putting in to this, like game development, especially, like I think the average, I think after like 3 years or something, people like 80% of people in the game industry feel burnt out. That's very fast.
That's insane. Yeah, that's
And
really
a lot
quick.
of that has to do with like, well, when you're an intern or when you first start your greenhorn, they make you do a lot of the shitty jobs, like repetitive tasks, and they're gonna make you stay fucking 12 hours every day, and you got to get it done. We
Or
got to ship
longer.
this. We got to ship this, and it's the only way that you're guaranteed a paycheck. And at any moment, they could cut you. Like, if they deem you not necessary, you don't pull your own weight, they will cut you. Because again, like that's something that one of my professors talked about a little bit. When people get laid off from game companies, there's a good majority of them that weren't pulling their weight, and what that means in it sounds like we were only kicking out the lazy people, but in reality, what it was is people who felt like they weren't being paid enough to do all that work did what they thought they were being, like, they did the amount that they were paid for to do, and then they got let go because they weren't willing to sacrifice the rest of their time and effort. and that's a messed up mentality, dude.
Yeah.
That's really fucked up.
A realistic situation that I was in, because I do VA full time right now, right? But I'm only able to do that because I also work at a VA like school, right? I make like there's so much stuff that people don't realize that when you're making these low ass rates and things like that. Like I try to tell actors, like new actors especially, like, dude, you got to take out your own fucking taxes, right? And that's something that they're like, wait, what? And it's like, yeah, because like if you make all this money as a freelancer, IRS is gonna be like, hey, I'm gonna need like 30%.
Yeah, the government wants their Skrilla.
Yeah, they want all that shit. And I remember I worked at this like studio. It was just a recording studio, right? And I was willing to do whatever I could to get me more hours. So I was picking up the slack, right? But that got me more notice. But that also got the other people canned, right? And you know, as an employee, as just someone that's like, you're trying to do your best to get your foot out there, right? But by doing that, you're also like, in a sense, hurting the other people around you because there are low rates. So I'm doing stuff where it's like, man, you should be getting paid for that. Yeah, but if I don't do it, they probably won't notice me. So I'm gonna do it now, and hopefully they'll pay me later.
We should do an episode of the podcast where we talk about stuff like this and have him on.
Yeah,
Welcome to Anime
dude.
Club After Dark, the fucking workers reform episode.
Not like just talk about like the voice acting industry, because I don't think we ever really talked about it like at length on an episode of the podcast. And actually having a voice actor on would be invaluable for that.
Very informative, yeah, for sure.
Yeah. I'm all
It's very
about,
fascinating.
It's all about information. There's a lot of myths and like I see like don't get me wrong, I've been a fan, right? So I've had all the glitz and glamour. I had the idea of being like, ooh, video games, ooh. But when you start finding out how the industry really works and things like that, it doesn't take away like your motivation, but it does put you in a situation like, all right, I gotta restructure how I look at this, right? I know Sean Chiplock. Sean Chiplock was in Persona 5. He said he made one month worth of rent from doing that game.
Oh my
God damn.
Wow.
Rent. All right. We talked about the exact numbers he made on working on Breath of the Wild, one of the most biggest games of all time. You're like, yeah, it wasn't really like a shit lot, you know what I mean? But like people would think like, but you're on this project, right? He got paid 100, I think, what was it, 125 a session, and 125 an hour, and he did like 3-hour sessions, and he said over like I think like the third, fourth session he was done. That is not a lot of money for like this huge ass
High
game.
caliber game, yeah.
Yeah, and like
That'd be good. That'd be good for like a bit part if you were like, you know, if you were a voice actor and you were only in like an episode and you had 5 lines. That'd be great.
Yeah, but like it's not like, once again, the whole industry is it's rough sometimes, right? I've turned gigs down because I'm like, not because it's like, because there's a lot of time, and man, they have like, they're cranking out like in a 1-hour session, like for anime, right? If you're recording for an anime in 1 hour, you've done like 7 episodes already.
Oh,
So they're cranking this stuff.
So it's like that, one after another.
It is fast. So like you can do an entire anime, like your parts alone, for 2 hours. In 2 hours you're done, and only get paid like $80. And that's it.
That's
It's like, oh,
insane.
man.
And depending on where you live, that's not gonna buy you very much.
Yeah, like what the fuck? That's a phone bill. Like that's a
And you gotta take taxes out of that.
100%. Like that's rough. And now, even on top of that, now you're under NDA because you can't say anything, so you can't promote it yourself and things like that. So all you're hoping is that, well, I hope this is really popular, and then like, you know, conventions like notice me, and I can make, you know, or I can do like signings or streamlies and things like that. That's why so many fucking voice actors do Twitch, because they're trying to supplement income. Because if you're not booking constantly, it's rough, man. Like I'm learning that firsthand, and I have a pretty good safety net. But
I've seen a lot of voice actors go onto a Cameo as well to make some extra money.
Yeah. Like it's rough.
That just reinforces that whole fucking gig mentality. Like, oh, you want to make some money, you got to do gigs and sell your talents in other ways. It's crazy. It used to be that you got a job and you could live off that job. You know, the fact that you get a job and it might help you make a living on the side, that's nuts.
Yeah.
It's and to answer Jeremy's question, I was saying like about Funimation keeping actors in the same roles or things like that. A lot of that stems from you take a really big chance by bringing in someone new. Like the anime
Right.
industry is very closed doors because you have someone you can trust. You need people like, hey, you're not gonna tweet on, you're not gonna say anything about this. So they try to keep people like who they know. So a
Yeah.
lot of times when people get in or something, it's like, oh, I took a class with this person and someone vouched for them. But like, it's hard when you're new, when you're a new actor because like you don't know what this person's gonna say. If you, I'm in your corporation. I say one thing, yo, did y'all know that this show, like, if I said 2 years ago, man, you know how the Devils of Part Time is coming out with a season two, I just fucked it up for everyone, 100%. Because now that like they're sponsors, they're like now everything's ruined.
And you can get blacklisted from the industry for doing that.
You get blacklisted 100%. So they're very careful about letting new people in and things like that. That's why a lot of people start off doing walla or background or bit parts and stuff like that. So, yeah, man.
It sucks. So I do want to move on to the next talking point, but I have to take a piss. So if anyone else wants
I
to
need
talk
to take
about...
a piss as well, dude. I'm gonna go take a
Oh
piss.
my
as
god!
well.
All right.
Hey John,
So-
you want to talk about something that you want to talk about while the time I go take a leak?
Yeah, man. So I fucking hate subscription services, right? I hate the whole fact that we all fucking got to subscribe to do anything anymore. Like, what happened to being able to you buy it and you own it, right? Like
Yeah.
the whole fucking like Adobe. I remember Photoshop. You bought it, you owned it. They gave you updates for like 5 years. Now it's like, hey man, you want Adobe? $30 a month, bro. Like what? That's crazy,
Yeah, it's either
right?
it's, I think you know what's terrible about that type of stuff because as a freelancer, you rely on shit like that to like
Yeah.
supplement your income, right? I need Adobe to edit videos, right? I
Yeah, it
need
used to be like I understand that paying $500 to $700 for this program was a lot of money, but that was an investment for the future, right? Like it'll pay off itself in no time. And the fact that you just perpetually owe them money now every single month. And then there's caveats to that for different programs where it's like, oh, if you make too much money off of it, you got to pay us more money. It's like, what?
yeah, it's the I mean, but the problem with it is that it makes more money if they do it that way. Like
Yeah, I know. Greedy corporations will be greedy. I get
if
that.
it doesn't make money, they would not have done it. But
Damn, Alex
Yeah.
and I are really synchronized right now.
Jeez. But no, what really pissed me off. So, did we actually name this the episode where John is like John hates everything?
Yeah, I titled
Yeah,
this
that's
the
the
one
name
where
of the
John
episode.
hates
So, all right,
everything.
here's my first thing I fucking hate, man. So I tried what the fuck was it? HelloFresh, right? For the first time. And what I'm about to say, we're gonna get demonetized from HelloFresh. I don't give a fuck. Fuck you guys. So
hold up, I have a sponsorship I'm trying to go back
no, so I hate it when subscription services make it a bitch and I have to fucking cancel.
Mm.
So what had happened here was I tried this food delivery service app, and it was actually really good price. Like it was extremely cheap. I liked the discounts, but it didn't solve my problem of like. So basically, this this undisclosed sponsor. You pay them money, and every week they send you meals, and then you cook it yourself, right? It's all portioned out, so you don't have to worry about any of that. And they send you basically everything except like oil, butter, salt, pepper, and I think and milk. So those you need to have, but everything else, like the meat, the vegetables, all that, you get it. And I really liked it. The food that they make is actually really good. The instructions are easy to follow, and everything's portioned out. I don't gotta do shit. I don't gotta buy it. It comes to my door. However, that did not take away from the fact that I'm a fucking lazy bastard. Like, I shouldn't be spending hundreds of dollars every month on like just getting food. I should just like spend a couple hundred and then cook the entire month, but I don't because I'm lazy. And
Aren't utility bills a subscription service? They 100% are.
they really are. So yeah, so I was like, you know what? I'm gonna cancel, right? So I go and cancel. I couldn't cancel on their page, and I was just like, what the heck? It says here to cancel, go to your settings, and there's a cancel option. There was no freaking cancel option. So I was just like, well, I'm not picking up a phone and calling anyone. I'm a millennial. That scares the living hell out of me. I'm never gonna call anyone ever. Like, I would be dying, and I'm not gonna call you guys. I'm gonna text you, hey, might be dying, LOL. Like,
No, you'll call some Discord. That's different.
Yeah, you'll call me. You'll call me in Discord from the toilet. It's like, oh, I took a shit. It's killing me. Call
No, I just send you
911
a
for
message.
me.
I will never call anybody. It doesn't matter what the reason. I will never call you. So they had a chat service. They were like, hey, you can just chat us. So I chatted them. I was like, hey, I'm trying to get this canceled. There's no cancel menu. They're like, oh yeah, no problem. We cancel it for you. What's the email? So I put in the email that he used to log into the account. Cancels, right? I'm like, okay, sweet. I don't have to pay the rest of it because I basically I just wanted to use them for the trial period where the meals were cheap, and then it doubled in price and got to normal. So I said, nah, I don't want this anymore. It's not worth it anymore. That now that I'm paying like $200 every week for 2 people to eat every day, like 2 meals every day for 2 people. So I was like, nah, that's like just as much as if I just went grocery shopping myself. So the convenience of the fact that it shows up does not outweigh the fact that it costs just as much as buying what I want to buy instead of selecting from their menu. Because sometimes they have stuff that I don't really want to eat, but I'm like, well, it's like not the worst of the list, but I don't like eating the same thing every day. So it's just like personal problems. So then week rolls by and I get another fucking box. And I'm like, what? I canceled this. Like,
What's in the box?
yeah, so I go in, I'm like, I canceled this. Obviously, there's still no quit button. So I'm just like, what the heck? So I go back and I message them. They're like, yeah, no, it says it's canceled. And I'm just like, well, how come I got another box then? They're like, well, do you have a different email with us? I'm like, no. They're like, okay, well, what's your address? So I give them my address. And then they're like, oh, actually, it looks like the one paying for this is your PayPal email. And I'm like, what? And I thought back to it. And I was like, oh, that's right. I use my PayPal to pay for this because I pay with my PayPal for everything because I'd rather people use my PayPal than it's easy to, like, if they steal the information with my PayPal, it's easy to reverse that versus your actual bank stuff. Like, it's a fucking hassle and a half getting your debit card stuff back. So I'm like, how the fuck? And I remembered PayPal has my address too. So when I signed up for this service, I used my personal email that I use for like business and stuff and like subscription accounts because I'm paying for stuff. But I paid using my PayPal account. Well, because my PayPal account had my frickin' address on it, they kept billing me. And I'm like, what? Like, I never authorized that. How did you guys even know to do that? Like, that's so fucking shady, man.
Yeah,
So
that's
bastards
shit.
got another $200 out of me, and I was just like, man, I freaking hate I hate subscription services, first and foremost. Like, I remember I had one for, I think it was Mega Upload. There's a file sharing website that had a limit to how much you could download.
Good times.
And
Yeah, very good times. Mega Upload, very good times.
I had to download like a bunch of stuff, right? And it was like, oh, you can sign up for a week free and then cancel. So I signed up and then I couldn't cancel because guess what? They're like, oh, you can't cancel your subscription. You got to go to your freaking bank. And I was like, what? So here I am, like, little baby John, just like 16, 17 years old, like young me. Just like, oh God, I gotta go to my bank. I gotta go in person. I gotta tell them I gotta cancel the subscription service. I don't know how to do any of that. And I'm just like, my anxiety's flaring up. And I hate that these companies do these shady practices because they know people like me exist. That were like, I'm never gonna call nobody. I'm not gonna fucking fill out the paperwork. Because you know who else does this? Freaking my gym. My gym says you cannot cancel. So because of COVID, I was like, you know what? I really don't feel like wearing a mask when I'm working out because that fucking sucks. And I just don't want to be in a gym full of other people breathing really heavy during like the pandemic. So I think I'm going to cancel my account. Guess what? My gym was like, oh, you want to cancel? That's cool. Just fill out this physical form. You can't cancel through the phone. You can't cancel online. I guess I could have just told my bank to stop charging them, but I'm never going to call my bank. See the story earlier where I said I'm never going to call anyone ever, right? So you have to print out this form, sign it, and then you have to mail it to them to cancel your membership. Unless you want to go to the actual gym and talk to a manager. But again, see Article A where I'm never going to interact with people.
See, my thing
Exhibit A.
yeah,
Exhibit A.
my thing is anything that you're able to sign up for online, you should also be able to cancel online.
Yeah, like my entire experience with any type of subscription service that makes it a hassle to cancel, if I ever eventually get over my anxiety and cancel, I will never go back to that service ever again in my life. because of that.
John, I'm hearing your story, man, and like, honestly, you should really just stop signing up for free shit.
Yeah,
Like,
really.
That's really.
I
that's
know,
really
I
how
get
you
it.
get open to
Let
it.
me guess. The gym was the first month free too, wasn't it?
Shut up. Listen.
Like, you gotta stop that, like, because I hear exactly what you're talking about, and I'm like, well, and then you're like, but I'm not gonna do that. I'm like, oh.
I know. I understand that it's my own problem because again, I'm the type that does that stuff, and I'm the type that they're looking for to do that
Yeah,
stuff.
you're the person they hope sign up because they're like,
Yeah.
oh fucking well, you're the fool. You need an assistant, John. That's what you need. You need an assistant where you're like, I'm signing up on this day, and this is. I understand exactly what you're talking about. Nutrit Solution does that. It's like an exercise. It's like, hey, you want to diet and all that, or it's like we'll send you meals like already, and like all you gotta do is eat this food. And I was like, but the first one is free, and I'm like, free food, and I don't get paid till next month. Sounds like a plan to me. You sign up and you go through this conversation, and they're like, and then they try to bill you weekly. And like weekly is like $250. It's 4 weeks in a month. I don't know who got $250. That's a lot for one person for food. That's a lot of money. So you try to cancel, and they're like, yeah, no. Here's this link. Click the link, and then the link is like, well, what did we do wrong? It's like, maybe we can
You're
try
too
to, like,
expensive. We'll give you if you stay signed up, man. We'll give you 2 more free meals, man.
and it's like, no. Why don't you call us so we can talk about it? And it's like, all right, John, this is like, but the only way this is gonna work, you have to learn how to. You just gotta talk to your bank. The best way to deal with subscription stuff like this is to let them charge you, and then be like, hey, yo, I want to put in a dispute. I canceled this thing, and they charged me, and your bank will just go and take the money. That's why I don't fear. And I only learned this because I worked at the bank, so I was like, oh, all right, cool. So I'm never like concerned about. I love it when people charge me shit sometimes because I'm like, all right, I'm about to get all this back, and I'm about to get this free fucking thing. So, that's my free trial period. My trial period is when I leave. I get one free thing as I exit, and I get my money back. Granted, I can't probably go back because I owe them money, but it's not like
I was gonna go back anyway. It's like
whatever.
no, like. Nowadays, I'm fine with it. I'm like, oh, what? You fucking did that? I'll fucking do it. I'll go to my bank. I'll do whatever to get my money back. I'm talking about previous me, like from 15 plus years ago, who freaked out about it because I've gotten a lot better with my anxiety with dealing with this because I just deal with dealing with people. You learn like, you know what? Fuck people. I want to do what I want to do.
Dealing with Alex and the tie on this podcast, just fuck him.
That helps.
Fuck
That's
him.
a good exercise, yeah.
Damn, John. Since you got this fucking bat, man, you started acting real good.
You've been acting sus ever since we handed you this ogre bat with a rubber grip on it.
Yeah, John, this
just
entire conversation has been very revealing, to be honest.
Also, I just want to point out, Panzer in our chat here says, is diabetes damage over time? I see someone watches Russian Badger 2.
What the fuck?
What? I don't.
What are you talking
Diabetes is damage over time.
What?
Okay.
I'm so confused.
about? I'm really confused, Alex.
Do you not
Is
get
this
the
like-
joke?
It's
It's
not an accurate statement, but
No.
it's like, okay.
I don't know. I guess someone must have mentioned diabetes. I don't know.
Did we? I'm pretty sure I did not. Like,
Also, Soon says John just needs to get his girlfriend to cancel for him because she loves talking to people.
Listen. That's why she exists.
That's a good point.
Because I'm not going to talk to the waiter about my steak being wrong. My girlfriend will do that for me.
bro, you had all the answers with you this whole time. I don't understand. Like, this episode should say, my girl hates everything I do.
Because, man, that hurts my pride as a man, all right? That's why.
Dude, once you get married, dude, I lost my pride. I understand exactly what Vegeta is talking about, man. Deep down, I'm like, you know what? I would have had that fucking M on my forehead, too. You know what? I can feel where he's coming from. And all those people need to die? Nah. But you know what? Sometimes when all you got is your
You got a
pride,
point.
you just want one day to have it back. Like,
Snittle
He's
says
got a
the girlfriend overriding is real. Girlfriend anxiety override is real. Yeah,
Activate Girlfriend Protocol.
Oh, activate
That's
GF
anime.
protocol.
That's what a new isekai needs to be. That time I got reincarnated as John's girl, and it's like
That's
this,
right.
that's going from the anime world, and now it's like, oh my god, I have to deal and talk to all these people, and I'm an introvert because I'm a weeaboo.
I mean, in the podcast lore, some people theorize that's actually Alex reincarnated.
That's
as
true.
John's
Yeah,
girlfriend, to be honest. So
Yeah, the inside joke on our Discord server is that I'm actually John's girlfriend.
I gotta pop in there. I'll be seeing it.
it's alive. That lore is alive.
Like,
Yeah.
yeah, not today.
By the way, Natai, I can't help but notice you have a plushie.
Which one? Where are you talking about? You're talking about my chopper plushie?
Yes.
Oh, it's fucking lovely. It's a good hand, just like
Hold on.
to put
Hold
on.
on, I
It's
got you. Hold on.
he's getting his hairy balls out. Oh no.
Oh no.
Oh no. Yeah.
Oh, it's the Mega Mean one.
Oh, do you want me to get the Star Platinum one? Hold on. I'll be right.
Yeah, I got
We're just.
I got the cursed Megamine. I got cursed Megamine. She's right here. She's staring
my
into
God,
your
why?
souls, everyone. She's staring into your soul.
No, I don't got a plushie. I just got a plushie.
I don't think yours is as buff as mine though.
Oh no, it's not.
It ain't a
He's
plushie.
so mad.
I got a championship belt.
Oh damn!
Oh, no.
Damn!
We're all pulling stuff out that we really care about. I'm like, I have
That's a
Speaking
great
of championships,
that's a great segue, Natai.
Oh my god.
Burger, please tell me you watched Revolution.
Yeah, of course I did.
Oh my god, my dude, I'm so happy you're here with us today. So this last month, so Revolution happened. Probably one of the best pay-per-views like AW put out, which means a lot because the last few were absolutely like 10 out of 10, incredible. Thanks, Alex. Good shit all around. It's a lot of really awesome climaxes for some storylines they put out. Really cool reveals for new wrestlers that arrived, and I'm really curious to hear, Burger. What was your favorite match of that pay-per-view?
Oh damn, man.
There's so many good ones.
Yeah, there really was. Honestly, and
Because I know my favorite one. So a really good storyline they've been building up for the past like few months or so is a rivalry between MJF and CM Punk. So yeah, it's fucking good. So like long story short, so CM Punk is like this legendary wrestler that came back from retirement, and he's great. Like his mic skills are absolutely bonkers. He's like just like both in the ring and with the mic, he's just awesome. And we're building up this rivalry with this younger guy called MJF, and this whole like the could say like the crux of this rivalry is that MJF is this like very up and coming wrestler who is like one of the homegrown talent of AEW. So one of his idols growing up was actually CM Punk, and they sort of build up this dynamic of when Punk retired 8 years ago. It was like a major blow to a lot of people. It was a really bad terms with WWE. It was a big fucking deal, and for MJF as a person who looked up to Punk, it was a very devastating moment because he looked up to him. He was inspired by him, and when he left, he sort of took that as him being a coward, as him just like abandoning all the people he inspired. And this rivalry is so fucking good that it's slowly building up, and these two like we're fighting each other. And in Revolution, they put out this absolutely incredible dog color match. It was bloody, it was violent, it was ugly as fuck, and it was so beautiful to behold because you have again this veteran that came back and like still sort of question does he still got it, and is confronting this younger guy who is somewhat of like an image of himself when he was younger. And there's so much to chew on that storyline that I absolutely love, and the match itself again is just absolutely fantastic. Like
there was a lot of great callbacks, right? Like first dog collar match using his old entrance music, literally wearing his old entrance gear and things. Like,
yeah, being that old CM Punk. Yeah,
it was a great pay-per-view. my favorite match, personally, damn man, it's personally for me. It probably was either between John Moxley and Brian. Because there's so much good stuff here.
Yeah.
John, and like I want to say even Chris Jericho, because it was such a like. It was just
I think
such
Kingston was a fucking MVP in that match. Holy shit.
That was a great match. I can tell you my least favorite match was Jade Cargill and Tay Conti.
Like, I'll tell you what. I like
John's
that
like,
match.
fuck this shit, I'm out.
Just nerdy shit.
I can tell you that's my least favorite match. Man, look, AEW was as a pay-per-view, it was fantastic. It's hard to like have a show that good and then have, you know, a world title match that still delivers, because people was tuckered out, man. Like,
Dude,
cheering, and even the last match really.
the crowd was fantastic.
They was great. It was great. And it really helps you understand, and it really helps you appreciate that even matches like Jade Cargill and like, you know, even though that's not as good, like people are
I enjoyed
forgiving.
it for what it was. Yeah.
Right, people are forgiving because they're like, you know what? I'm glad, you know, they're out there, they're new, right? It gave an excuse versus be like, why aren't they better, right? You got to see stuff like Hook and QT Marshall was just, I was like, I just love seeing fucking Hook, right?
Dude, so Alex, you don't even understand. So this guy Hook is like, he's a very young guy. He hasn't wrestled before the AEW. I don't think so. He's like, again, a very homegrown talent. This guy just like for the past few months, they just built up this guy as this like very quiet guy. He doesn't talk at all. He just shows up every now and then to aid in some fights or whatever. And then they fucking give him the spotlight to wrestle for the first time on TV, and he delivers his like mannerisms. Again, he just comes in the ring, doesn't say anything, doesn't like fuss around. He comes in and then he just kicks ass, and it's awesome. It's like,
goes home, fucks you up,
and he goes home and it's like
Silent
the
but
way
deadly.
the crowd yeah, the way the crowd responds to that as well is fucking fantastic. It's amazing. And the guy
So I want to say, a couple of weeks ago, we did sort of a media share night on our Discord server, and someone that was there had us watch some clips from one of the latest AEW. I think it was Dynamite.
Dynamite is the Wednesday show.
Yeah, I think it was. It may have been. I can't remember which one it was. It was from AEW. I just can't remember which one. But I'm interested. It's
Dude,
like it is a lot like old school. I won't say it's like Attitude Era WWE, but it's not far off.
Dude, the shit that's happening in the show, like there's so many just like they take some storylines and they just take them to their absolute extremes in the best way possible.
Yeah.
Yeah. The best way how to describe it is that watching AEW gives you the feeling like, oh yeah, wrestling used to be really fucking cool, right? Like I think like a big, it wasn't even a turnoff, right? But like Britt Baker versus Thunder Rosa.
Thunder Rosa, yeah.
Right? And it was a match that Thunder Rosa lost, right? It was like, damn, she should have won, right? But they were going to wrestle again in her hometown. People are so conditioned to watching WWE now, where it's like, oh, she would have lost at this pay-per-view, and then she would have lost again in her hometown, and then I've been innovative. Like, this doesn't make any sense.
Mm-hmm.
But she lost here, and then she won in her hometown, which had an even bigger pot. Like,
it was such a heartwarming moment.
Yeah, it gives you like these moments where you're like, oh, great, like they know what they're doing. And not everything Tony Khan has done has been like genius, but overall, as a fan, you can go in and be like, I'm going to see something great here. And
yeah,
like seeing William Regal come out, I was like, oh shit. Oh,
and hearing the Ty talk about it, apparently they've reached back into like the fucking Disney vault or something and gotten people like who used to be big wrestlers back in like the 80s and 90s, and they've come back as like coaches.
Dude, yeah, it's incredible. Like,
didn't you say that Arn Anderson is actually?
Arn Anderson is one of the coaches.
Yeah.
Arn?
Arn is one of the coaches. Yeah, it's amazing.
Arn is
the Glock, yeah. Oh my god, that promo is fantastic. Pretty much like,
Arn?
Dude, Alex, I need to show this promo.
I'm old enough to where I can remember watching Arn Anderson wrestle.
Dude, his son wrestles now and he's great.
Yeah.
Back when the four horsemen, you had Ric Flair, Ole, and Arn Anderson.
Dude, Tully Blanchard as well is in AEW as like a coach. Also, Sting is around because that's great.
Fucking Sting.
Sting.
Yeah, fuck. Dude, so in the paper itself, so they had this one match with Sting and these other guys, and near the end of the match, they set up these like chairs not chairs, tables on top of each other, and Andrade, one of the wrestlers, was like put on top of it. It was like lying around. He's like dead. So Sting climbed up to the top of the what's it called? Shit. Yeah, the staircase, and he jumped from the top over to this table, just crashed down on it, on top of this wrestler. It's absolutely, and the guy's 60 or something. Incredible.
They're gonna pull. Sting is gonna be in his fucking 90s, and he'll be getting out there to fucking like his walker, like still wrestling.
Sometimes you gotta know when to dial it back. But like everybody that Jeff Hardy's there, right?
Yeah, Jeff Hardy is now on AEW as well, so the brothers are back. It's really great, and I love how like they try and push what wrestling can be in terms of a storyline. Because my favorite thing about wrestling is when it like you can't quite tell how much is like just the story itself and how much is actual reality, because some of these stories are literally like animosity between some wrestlers who like have issues with each other in real life, and that's like the special thing about this. Like,
that's what made the Attitude Era of WWE so good, though. It's because there was actually that doubt while you were watching. Is this animosity real or is it staged?
Does Stone Cold really, really hate Vince McMahon?
Yeah.
Like, I only seen one interview with MJF out of kayfabe, but I was like, damn, I don't know if I like. And then like I came back the next day to like rewatch it, and it was gone. I was like, so now in my brain, I'm like,
dude, MJ, that guy is like incredible. He's doing incredible stuff with this character, especially this previous storyline. And so like tried to sort of more humanize him, but it's absolutely incredible shit.
I can talk about wrestling stuff all damn day.
That's why I'm so glad Burger is here with us today, so I can gush about AEW.
Yeah, I know nothing about wrestling. All I know is I thought Stone Cold came out of retirement. I saw memes about that. I don't know what that was about.
He's coming back for a talk show.
Oh,
of course.
I mean,
all you need to know, John, there's a dinosaur who is one of the tag team champions right now, and his name is Luchasaurus because of course, and he's great.
I'm so confused.
One thing I will say one thing I do like every time I hear people talk about AEW. Granted, I've not actually sat down and watched like an entire episode of like AEW Dynamite or whatever, from beginning to end. But
let's fucking do it.
Just hearing Natai and other people talk about it, it's like whoever is running it seems to understand like a balance between nostalgia to get old wrestling fans in like myself and the value of bringing in new talent.
Well, that's the thing, right? It's a show, like, this show is meant to showcase new talent, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the idea is that wrestling has always been one thing, because the most global wrestling company in the world was WWE. That's what that's the one thing that everyone knows about, right? No matter who you are in the world, you know who John Cena is. You're like, oh, that's that guy that wrestles, right? Just like back in the day, no matter who you were, you knew who
John Cena.
John Cena.
Juan Cena, like
Bing Chilling.
But now, like, with this new company, with the people that are growing there and things like that, it's that like CM Punk coming out of retirement, like, is
fucking big,
huge. Like that kind of shook the world. Like everyone was like, "Oh, maybe I didn't think this was possible." It's probably the feeling you saw when the Wolf anime got like came.
Oh yeah, Spies
came out of nowhere.
Because when you see CM Punk show up, people fucking cry in the crowd. You can see people tear up. It's incredible. I've been thinking about helping Alex catch up on AEW. I've been thinking about
you have to catch me up on the lore.
I'm telling you, and I've been thinking about like if we're gonna like start somewhere is in that episode of CM Punk showing up, because that felt like a beginning of a new stage.
I gotta talk to you back when I used to
John Cena as Peacemaker. Yeah.
We just gotta talk about when I used to wrestle like.
You wrestled?
Yeah, I used to be amateur.
Dude.
Yeah, my name was
the voice actor.
No. My whole gimmick was I was a comedian that wasn't funny, and I would get beat up for telling bad jokes.
I love it.
I love it. That's great. What was your entrance music?
It wasn't really music. It was just like
Was it the Seinfeld theme? Please tell me it was a
it was
Seinfeld
just
theme.
me come out with a mic was like, what's funny? And like, remember when R-Truth back in the day, it was just like he would just say one thing, and he would just walk out. It was no interest music. It's kind of like when Tommaso Ciampa would come into the ring and he had no interest music with him. I had nothing. Okay, I had nothing. Okay, my name was J. My name was JTJ. My name was JTJ, and I was a jobber. That was all I would do is get beat up and make people strong. Like I would literally come out and be like, knock knock, who's there? Not your opportunity for the title, and they would just be like,
Oh my god.
All right,
And
Natai, you can never say anything ever again about my puns.
No, that's fantastic. That's fantastic.
So that was my whole gimmick.
That's
That's a
good, though.
great gimmick.
I kept getting fucking injured though. Like that was the worst part. I was like, fuck.
For everyone out there, I mean, yeah, wrestling is fake to a degree, but you got to be in good
And
shape to do
fuck
it.
Out of here with that. I've been hurt. I've been slammed so fucking hard on the back of my neck.
Dude, these people put out so
Yeah,
much of
I mean,
themselves in that physically.
It's physically taxing. Like for something that is scripted, it's still physically very taxing. You are your own stuntman.
The results are scripted, but the contact is very real, right? That's why people get injured and hurt all the fucking time.
Unless your name is Mick Foley, then you never get hurt. You're invincible.
I mean, you just like, yeah, I lost the ear, but so fucking what? And it's like,
yeah, my tooth is stuck in my nose, but so what?
It's fine. It's just I can go again.
I like falling on tax. What's the big deal? It's like, okay. No.
Classy Ulysses says, haven't watched wrestling since 2010. Yeah, you've watched it since I have, because the last time I actually was watching it regularly was like 2001, 2002.
It's time to come back.
It's time.
I'll never get tired of that clip of Undertaker throwing Mick Foley down the cage.
It's I remember watching that live when it happened because we had ordered it on pay-per-view. It's like, oh.
Meme on Reddit, the whole I don't know. There's some meme. There's some meme on Reddit that has something to do with the Undertaker. In that day, like 1990, whatever, the Undertaker something threw Mankind off the cage.
Mick Foley was Mankind. Yeah,
Mankind.
Yeah. That's the meme.
The thing about
There's
that
some guy who posts a comment about that.
The thing about
It's
that
so
whole
good.
setup was Mankind was always an underdog, right? When he was wrestling back then, and like he actually had to go up against fucking Undertaker in a Hell in the Cell match. Just Jesus Christ! It was so
he
good.
throws him down, and he climbs back.
And he climbs back up.
Alex, wait till you see like the AEW sort of version of Mankind with Darby Allin. This kid is like what 25 years old, and he's insane. He's
He gonna
absolutely
fuck
insane.
himself up. I'll be like, I wouldn't stop jumping off of. Man, look, I took one table bump, and I was like,
Fuck this.
yeah. I was like, nah, not again.
Well, I will say that since it's actually in our thumbnail and we did mention it before, Natai, how's Batman?
It's a pretty good movie.
That's what I'm saying.
So I watched it with my buddies, and I knew I'm probably gonna have a good time, but goddamn, I missed like comic book movies being actual movies. Like like I love the Nolan trilogy of Batman movies. I missed that. It's actually like a fucking film. It's not like a plastic like CGI feel. Like I love the MCU movies. Sure, like I enjoy them for what they are. Some of them more than others, but man, like Batman is like an actual movie, and it's I had a great time with it. Have any of you watched it yet? Or
I have not. I'm gonna wait until it's on some kind of a streaming service to watch it.
I didn't know how I felt about having Edward as the new Batman.
It's good. It's good. Robert Pattinson is great.
The thing about
I
Robert
think-
Pattinson, he has spent his entire career. He has spent his entire career since Twilight distancing himself from Twilight.
If anyone is doubting Robert Pattinson, go watch The Lighthouse and then come back. And
Oh,
talk
the
to me
Lighthouse.
about it.
The Lighthouse is a fucking phenomenal movie.
I think he makes a great Batman. His Bruce Wayne needs a little bit work, but his Batman.
I'm the interesting thing about that. Like I came to terms with that. So that's the one thing I was kind of like not too sure about is how we portrayed Bruce Wayne, because it's not like the beauty of Batman on like to some extent is that Bruce Wayne is the mask, right? Like Batman is actually who he is, and what I like we talked about Kevin Conroy like earlier, like the brilliant thing about his performance is that he used his sort of regular voice to voice Batman, then changed his intonations a bit when he switched to Bruce Wayne. And what I realized, because the whole thing of like the movie is going for like this very early stage in Batman's career, I suppose that's like his second year as a
Yeah, it's
as
not.
Batman.
It's not an origin story.
It's not an origin story, but it is like the second year of actually being the Batman and like being in Gotham. And
Batman.
the Batman.
I am the Knight.
And what I think that why I'm okay with this portrayal of Bruce Wayne that he went for is because it's like he is still like he's unhinged. That's what I kind of like. He's not a very stable person in this movie, and he still hasn't separated that sort of like, okay, this is Batman. This is this Bruce Wayne persona I need to put on a show for these people. And he still hasn't like mastered that balance between the two, right? So like I guess sort of came to terms with that in that aspect.
I think
Because overall, I love his performance.
I think what a lot of people was really going into it when they were so concerned with being, it was just that, oh, ain't this the vampire from Twilight? And that's what everybody was focusing on.
Yeah.
But it's the same thing, I think, when Michael B. Jordan, right, when he did Human Torch, he was like, no, I'm actually a good actor. Go watch Creed. I promise you, it's like, just give me another chance. I didn't. It's not my fault that fucking film sucks.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think he makes a great Batman. His Bruce Wayne.
People, you know, the thing with Pattinson being cast as Batman / Bruce Wayne and everyone harping on it, people forget now. But when the Dark Knight trilogy, with the second movie in the Dark Knight trilogy came out, and they announced that Heath Ledger was playing the Joker,
right.
Everyone said it was going to be a terrible choice. He was never going to be able to play the Joker very well, and look where we are now.
And now he's
It's
like
one of the best portrayals of the Joker ever.
Yep.
I mean, I think Mark Hamill makes the best Joker, but
I mean,
live action Joker.
the best live action Joker, I think, is Heath
are
Ledger.
you kidding me, Jack Nicholson? You guys are blind.
You ever danced with the devil in the pale moonlight?
No, that was
Jack
a horrible
Nicholson,
Joker. I like Jack Nicholson. I did
But
not like his Joker. No.
Yeah, that's what I like. I like Jack Nicholson just being Jack Nicholson in Batman, but I don't think it's a good Joker.
Do you know what we need? So one of the things I did like the movie The Joker. I think Joaquin Phoenix actually played the Joker really well,
Yeah.
even though it's kind of its own thing and it's not like, I guess, canon, so to speak. One thing I would love to see, because we've seen Batman Ninja, right? And that was pretty good. I really liked
Batman
that.
Ninja was awesome. Yeah.
I think if we're gonna do something that's completely non-canon, I'd like to see something done with the Joker, but it's some kind of like time travel paradox thing where all the Jokers meet each other. So you got like Cesar Romero and Jack Nicholson and Mark Hamill and
Mark Hamill in the booth, like, what's going on?
and Heath Ledger, Joaquin Phoenix, and they all meet each other, and it's like
a Spider-Man meme.
yes, I want to see that because I think it would be awesome.
Also, like one thing that I do appreciate about this movie is that it's not trying to be interconnected to anything greater or a fucking universe. Like
I think
I'm so fatigued with that shit.
I think DC should just completely give up on that and do its own shit. Like there's this thing with DC. They want everyone wants to emulate Marvel now because they've had enormous success with it, and it's actually one of the things I definitely think Marvel has made shittier about movies in general, that everything has to be a franchise and always connected. I think DC should just give up on that and just make independent stories. They should stop trying to make a connected universe.
There's no need to rush. Like,
The Joker was great. It has no connection to anything.
Like, I remember people interviewing them. It's like, oh, so will there be like this Joker will ever meet Batman in the future? Like, no, I don't need that movie. No, just let it be what it is.
I'd also be super cool with them doing more villain-focused stories in the DC universe, because one thing I've always said is Marvel has the best heroes, but DC has the best villains.
Yeah, the thing is with like these villain movies is every now and then like they come out, it's like they're villain movies, but they're the characters are not really villainous, you know. It's kind of like I really enjoyed the new Suicide Squad movie. It was really fun. It's very James Gunn. It's very James Gunn in the best way possible. It's very gory in like a comical way. It's very stylish in the way like he uses the camera all the time. It's great. But let's be honest, it's like, yeah, they're villains, but they're not really villainous. They're used for like a good cause or whatever. They're like good guys by the end. So like whenever they like, even with fucking, like that Venom movie sucked. I'm sorry, I really didn't like it. But even that movie is sort of like, oh, it's a bad guy. Not really. No, it's just not a superhero movie.
That's true. Classy Ulysses says we are getting a Penguin spinoff coming out next year. So
fine with that. By the way,
so that only makes me think of Arnold as Mr. Freeze.
Mr.
Chill out.
Chill out.
Or chill out, bird boy. That's all I think about.
Shoutouts to Paul Dano as the Riddler. That was a really good
how was he as the Riddler? Because like stylistically, he looks different than any other Riddler we've ever seen.
Yeah, it's a very different Riddler. I love him. Like, speaking of unhinged, how like Robert Pattinson is portraying Batman as a very unhinged character to some extent. The Riddler is very much that. It's very not 100% in his head. I love him. It's very Seven. This movie, it's very inspired by Seven. That's the vibe I got.
It's one of my favorite movies ever.
I love Seven. Like it's not as demented as Seven. Like it's not that it doesn't go that hard, but it's
we don't get a scene with Batman going, "What's in the box?
What's in the box?
What's in the box, Riddler? What's in the box?"
It's very inspired by Seven. I can tell. It's which Paul Dano really adds to that. There are like some moments in that I'm like, you've been watching some Kevin Spacey, haven't you? It's great. I love him. It was like I had a feeling that it would be great, but like from the trailers, I was like, oh, okay, interesting, but he blew me away.
Do you know what's sad is that like you mentioned Kevin Spacey. Kevin Spacey, I think, would have made a really good Riddler at some point.
It's just a shame that
he's a shitty human being.
Yeah. Also, shout out, like, dude, the cinematography in the movie looks absolutely stunning. Like, have you guys watched the Planet of the Apes movie that came out like a few years ago?
I have not. I watched the one back in 1968.
Yeah, I've watched the old one.
I watched it in 1960. Yeah, that as well. But like, so how long ago was it? So like, there was the trilogy of movies like a few years ago. So it's the same director, and you can tell that like, because visually the movie looks absolutely stunning. Like, there's a lot of dark in it, but it just looks so. Like I love the cinematography and how the city looks. It's
Classy Lucy says the Riddler is a mix of Zodiac Killer and a Twitch streamer.
That's perfect. Yeah, he actually is. He actually is.
Well, now I hate it. Like, what?
No, but like, it's not even that. It's the.
So what you're saying is the Riddler is literally Pokemon.
No, he's a Pokemon fanboy. He's a Pokemon sub.
Hate everything about
a tier 3 sub.
But nah, the Riddler is like really good. I really enjoyed his performance.
I think this will finally be the movie that gets me to watch like superhero movies again. I think I will watch it when it comes out. I think it's coming out on HBO Max in April.
It probably will. Love to hear your thoughts on it then. And hopefully this is like the beginning of a new like trilogy or series for this character, because
maybe we could do a watch party for it in our Discord server.
I'm down. It's very long, by the way.
Yeah, it's like what, nearly 3 hours? Is it 3 hours long?
But yeah, but it's very well paced. Like, it didn't feel like it was like like too like meandering or whatnot. It's like surprise for its length. It was very well paced.
Okay. Welcome back, Burger.
Also, one last shout out to Zoe Kravitz's Catwoman. That was I really enjoyed the performance.
Yeah.
Oh,
That was great.
Batman. I'm like,
Yeah, we're still on Batman topic.
okay. I'm like, how dare you bring up Halle Berry as Catwoman? That shit.
Oh no, we're not doing that.
The hell with that film. What?
I'm trying to think of a good quote from that movie, and my mind is blanking.
All I think of is that unnecessary ass basketball scene. I'm like, why
Yeah,
are you moving up on her ass? What's going on?
All right. Well, we titled this one "John Hates Everything." So, John, what else do you hate? Because you've already mentioned how much you hate subscription services.
All right, so I fucking hate college.
Me too.
Just
What
in
you're doing
general.
right now. Like,
So they decided to transition this whole like I don't know what it is. How you register and how you add and drop classes and do all that shit and pay for stuff. All the online services that you had before, they went to this like they rolled it over into this new thing, and I fucking absolutely hate it because one, they made it so your winter and your spring quarter classes all opened up at the same time. And I didn't know what the fuck I was going to take because it depended on if I passed the shit in winter, and I didn't want to fucking register for spring, so a lot of classes got filled up, and it was down forever for like a month, so I couldn't even do anything when I had openings for classes. And I was just like, who does this? What kind of school system goes, you know what we're going to do? During the middle of our fucking busy season, we're just going to shut all the registration shit down, and everyone else good luck. And I was just like, what the fuck?
So what's the point of that in their point of view, right?
They rolled it over to some new like system that's like it's a lot nicer for sure. It's like because if I'm being completely honest, their old system was like circa, I don't know, it looks like it came from 2006. Like
so a prime
MySpace.
cyber security threat, you're saying?
Nice.
Yeah, it was real bad. It was real bad. So I understand why they wanted to upgrade and all that stuff. But what fucking horrible timing did they have to choose? Because I couldn't do anything, and one of my classes that I needed to take finally opened up. But now I'm enrolled in too many classes, but I can't drop any classes. So I can enroll into this new class that finally opened up because of this whole shit being down. So I'm just like, why? Why would you do this at the most inopportune time? You could have waited 3 months until the summer when barely anyone's taking classes to do all of this. Why would you choose right absolutely fucking now to do this?
but
Who does that?
Would be convenient if they waited to the summer.
Yeah, it would be convenient. And I also hate unpaid interns because my school has a program for people who like, hey, you want to go into HR? Hey, do you want to go into whatever? And you can do unpaid internships for them. Because corresponding with these people is the worst in the fucking world. I get that they're students and I get that they have their own lives and stuff, but if I send you an email and you don't reply for like 5 days and it's about my registration to drop a class, because so once the online stuff went away, the only way to get any of it done was to email them. You couldn't call them. You have to email, right?
What?
Yes. So I emailed them, and it took a whole 5 fucking days for them to respond back to drop the class that I didn't want to take anymore, so I could take this other class that I actually did need, so I can take classes in the fall, right? Because it's one of the prereqs. And guess the fuck what? I made it into one of those classes out of 3 I needed. 2 of them I didn't because of this shit. And I'm just like, what? Like, I got screwed out of my position in line to get into this class because of your guys' fuck up, because your intern couldn't respond to my email fast enough and, like, fucking drop the classroom during a time in which I had no other way to do this. Like,
but John, what if, and just hear me out, the big what if, right?
okay.
What if that person who didn't send that email was you from the past that was like, I'm not sending out no emails?
Then don't fucking intern for an HR position in fucking registration.
But what if he's just lazy and it was like, yo, I ain't doing all that, and he didn't have your girlfriend yet to do it for him. That's why he couldn't get. When you
He had anxiety about
you
it.
really
Dude.
be mad at him? Like he
Yes, because why? Hey man, listen. If you have poor people skills and you choose to work in a customer service like area, do not fucking work in a customer service. I don't know what to tell you.
Don't do it. Don't
Like,
do it.
At some point, that's on you. You're right.
like if you're gonna pick up this internship because you want to work in HR and you want to work in like registrations, whatever, you want to work in this fucking field, then you need to be prompt with how you respond to your emails. Like that's just like 101 basics of just working in an office environment, especially if you're dealing with other people's classes. Like it's one thing if it's like, hey, did you get the rundown yet? You know, like, hey, you didn't respond in RSVP to the company lunch. You know, like that's one thing to avoid. They'd be like, shirk that duty for that, whatever. When it's my fucking class and I'm trying to get my degree done and I can't do anything but go to you, then we got a problem if you don't fucking respond to me in time.
I mean, hey, John, don't take it out on me. I didn't do shit to you.
I don't know, man. You playing devil's advocate. You sound like you
I'm
on their
over here,
side,
I'm
man.
over here defending the younger you.
Younger me would not be caught dead in a fucking situation where if it was my job and I had to do that, I would not be slacking.
Just
Burger,
spam
you
so
walk
much you
into
get
a
an
very-
email back. Yeah, that's great and all, but you shouldn't have to do that for stuff like this, especially when I'm sure it's not cheap doing what you're doing. When there's as much money as you're probably putting out there on the line.
Yeah, like I'm paying fucking upwards towards $1,000 per each class, and I'm trying to get my degree done on time. And it's during a time where I can only rely on people who are in this department to drop classes and add classes. It's a little bit more critical, don't you think?
Yeah.
To
I can
stay on top of
understand.
shit like
I
that.
can understand getting a response within 24 hours, but 5 days, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, it
That's a
was
bit much.
fucking ridiculous. And it's just been a whole ordeal. And I just don't understand why they had to choose now. Why would they open up all of registration? So instead of letting
To piss
people-
you
so-
off. That's why.
to really fucking just piss me off, right?
Mhm.
So they closed this down back in March. Or no, right now it's March. They closed this back down in January. So it was closed for 2 months. So you couldn't do shit. So that's why they opened up. They're like, hey, so we opened up winter and spring registration at the same time. So everything opened up back in November because they were going to close in January, right? So I was like, that's stupid. Why would you do that? Just wait till the summer to roll this out. Because, believe it or not, folks, when you roll out a new product, there's going to be fucking bugs. Bugs the hell. You know what's a bug?
Big bugs.
A big bug that happened with this new thing they went to? You still can't drop classes. So, I make it into one class, okay? One class. Then, my second class opens up. But lo and behold, I can only take... Oh, did I just BSOD? What is this? Hello,
no.
Elden Ring?
No,
Hello, Elden Ring?
Oh.
All
Okay.
your rage in Elden Ring.
Oh,
you-
Elden Ring just like...
You didn't
like,
BSOD
fuck
because
you.
we can still see and hear you, so
Okay, no,
Elden Ring
just
was
for,
like, I'm done with this.
I'm
shit.
done with this shit.
for whatever reason. I've been playing Elden Ring this entire
Try
I'm taking
finger
my rage out on
butthole.
these. Yeah. So they roll it out, and another class finally opens up, and I'm like, sweet. I've been waiting on this wait list for like 4 months. I've been trying to get into this class that I need as a prereq for fall. And my the registration person emails me, hey, so you're taking 4 classes and you're at the maximum amount of credits allowed to take for the quarter. And I was like, well, that's bullshit because one, I took 5.
You okay,
this quarter.
Burger?
Yeah.
Burger's
It's
losing it.
you. John, you're like the adult version of Everybody Hates Chris. It's like, damn, man. Like, nothing works out. Nothing is fair. It's like I'm hearing more. And I'm like, maybe this story has a happy ending. It's like, you know what else?
It just keeps getting worse.
It keeps getting worse and worse.
Like, I feel
It's
so
'cause
bad. I feel so bad for
Anything
you.
that... Bro, don't even get me started about fucking finals and how my hard drive died and I had to rebuild all my
Oh,
shit.
that was a very scary day.
Oh,
Bro.
that didn't just affect your college either. That affected our podcast too, because you stored our recordings on there.
That was a very
So,
scary
all right,
conversation to read.
So, while I was dealing with all this registration bullshit, my hard drive also fucking died. The one that I store all the episodes of the podcast on. The one that I store all my homework and finals work on. So I had to rebuild my game, I had to reanimate my model, everything from like scratch in like the last 3 days. So it was a little bit stressful, and I'm a little bit bitter about this entire experience because the dean said, "Oh, you can't take more than 4 classes," which I said was bullshit because I took 5 last quarter. I took 5. So I don't understand how I couldn't do another like 5. But I was like, okay, whatever, doesn't matter. I wanted to drop this class anyway, but I couldn't fucking drop it and get in my other class. So obviously I shoot back an email to the guy, and I'm pretty sure the person I talked to was an actual like paid person because they responded right away and said, okay, no problem. We'll drop you out of that class and we'll put you in the one you need to be in. I'm just like, thanks. That took less than 7 minutes. Less than 7 fucking minutes. So I'm pretty sure that person was paid to do this.
But you had to get on the phone first.
No, it was an email.
Oh, it was an email. Okay.
Yeah, but the thing is, the person who responded to me originally at registration, pretty sure they were an intern because they were messaging me around like 8 or 9 p.m. at night. And I'm like,
What the fuck?
that seems extremely like unlikely
little
considering the
sus.
office. Yeah, because the office closes at like I think 4. So I'm like, I'm pretty sure this is an intern then. They're just doing the like backup work. Like here's a backlog of things we need to go through for the school. Because you get working credits and stuff too when you do the internship program for my school. So there's like pros and cons to it. But that's how I had a creeping suspicion that I'm pretty sure they're an unpaid intern.
Alex, I'm so happy you got my reference back then. Thank you.
Big nuts.
So other than that, I also hate the fact that Elden Ring released at the worst fucking time. I've been waiting for Elden Ring forever, like everyone else.
It's been a good few years, yeah.
But like it releases literally on the week of my finals starting, and I was just like, shit, I can't play because I have to work on my finals. And then everything happened, and I was like, shit, I really can't play. I can have literally 0 distraction right now. I'm working down on the wire. This is crazy shit. So you know, was it Murphy's Law? Anything wrong?
Anything that
that
can
can
go
go
wrong
wrong
will at the
can.
worst possible time.
Yeah, no, like that legit happened. And I hate to say this, my teacher even said it in class. He was like, you guys should probably right now, before you start working on your games and your projects, go out and buy a new external hard drive, this and that. And I was like, whatever. Guess the fuck what? You know what? You were right,
He was
Gary.
right.
You were fucking right.
Gary's the man.
Oh, damn.
It's almost like the professor has seen this multiple times before.
Yeah.
You can't catch a break, John. Like,
Bro, it's been rough this last like 3 weeks, all right? Like
they're gonna
this is my first week like actually free, which is why I'm like on the podcast.
Yeah,
And
for anyone who's been wondering why John hasn't been on a fair few episodes the last couple months, that's why.
So I've been dealing with shit.
Oh,
Hence the break in Monogatari spoiler cast.
Yeah, hence Natai and I doing a bunch of Monogatari spoiler casts.
oh, fuck, John. Here, take this friend request, yo. I'm gonna check on you throughout the week now. Like, I'm just-
No, I'm good now, and I've got it under control. I'm not taking 5 classes in a quarter anymore because that's fucking nuts. I wouldn't say it was impossible, but my work-life balance was bad. Like I was sleeping 4 hours a day for like 2 days a week,
Yeah.
Dude,
maybe 6 on the other 3 days.
Plus, you have a full-time job on top of all this, and you edit the
Yeah.
audio for our podcast.
Yeah, no, I've got the podcast. I've got a full-time job that's 28 days on, 2 days off.
That's
So
insane.
yeah, I'm a busy guy.
I'm sorry, dude. I'm sorry you gotta go through all that, man.
Bro, that's part of the grind though, you know what I'm saying? Like it's what I'm doing right now that's trying to build a future for myself.
I feel
So
you. Oh,
I'm putting in the work, man, but like I said, I try to be, because I'm a pessimistic guy, I just the glass is half full all the time. It's never right.
I'm telling you, man. Alex just has to succeed. That's what has to happen. So, like now the pressure.
Yeah.
It's like,
Like-
I'm doing all this shit for you. You better succeed.
No pressure.
It's like that's what you got to do. You got to put the pressure on the people around you. So there's no more pressure on you.
Yeah, man. In 5 years, the podcast is gonna take off. We're gonna be just as big as Trash Taste. You know, Burger's gonna be running his department, doing whatever. He's gonna be the part of the union, whatnot. and I'll be like making video games and doing podcasts, and that's it. That's all I want to do.
Hey man, I know a bunch of voice actors who just be like, "Here you go." Like,
I feel like that's a good
Dang.
place to stop, but I
That's
do.
a good way to stop.
It is a good stopping point.
We've
I
been
mean,
going for like 2
Natai,
hours.
I mean,
Yeah.
if Natai has one more talking point if he
No.
wants
We can
to get
save
to
it for next time. We can save it for next time.
Okay,
That's
all
fine.
right.
I can't top that. I don't want to.
I mean, we did put in the title that John hates everything, and he clearly laid out everything that he hates.
I feel
Bro,
like this
like I
was a
said.
good. feel like this was a good therapy session.
It was a good theory. He had to get it out. You had to get it out, John.
It's because nobody understood what my life was like for the last 2 weeks or 3 weeks dealing with everything. Just fucking everything, bro.
And it's like I it was like bad. Well, it was bad, worse for you, but it's like I knew there was a week where I didn't have an episode to put out, and I'm like, oh god, do I want to DM him and be like, hey, John, what are you doing?
Yeah.
You got that audio ready for it, shit?
Oh yeah.
It's
And
like-
I
it's
stayed
like-
up to actually get that one out because I was like, all right, I need to because I kept juggling everything. I was like, all right, how much time do I have to work on stuff today? Do I have to go and because I have my own personal life too, like girlfriend hasn't been out in a while. I got to take her out, make sure she's like entertained and make sure she's being taken care of. And I'm like, all right, what else do I got to do? Got to do any errands for the house? I got to do chores. Do I got to do any type of work? Balancing everything, and just like shifting everything around to make sure everything lined up and just
can y'all
fucking
change y'all
making it work.
thumbnail? Can y'all change your thumbnail from John hates everything and just have a picture of everybody hates Chris?
That's perfect.
Just have,
I don't know. Have you seen the thumbnail that is the actual thumbnail for this episode?
I
It's
know
pretty
it.
good. I'll
pretty
DM
damn good.
after we're done. After we're done, I'll DM it to you, and I think you'll find that this one's actually better.
Oh fuck.
Every time Alex and I will like start recording for like, especially for Manga, it's like, okay, let's try and not go over an hour for John's sake.
Yeah, and then we never do. Do you remember? Remember when we did Neko Black, and it was it's literally 4 episodes long, and we spent an hour and a half talking about 4 episodes.
Yeah, I remember that. I remember all of that.
I remember every minute of it.
I
never
wouldn't say it
forget
was
the first time-
agonizing. It's always fun listening to you guys. I wouldn't say it was agonizing, but holy fuck, man. I need to start
Yeah.
charging you guys by the hour.
Yeah.
We're a bit much, I suppose.
We do go a bit overboard with our Monogatari spoiler cast, but it's something we're passionate about.
One of these days, I'm just gonna make you guys edit, okay?
You know what's
You
crazy?
see how
John?
passionate you are about it, and then
I'm gonna tell you the secret, right? To my podcast, right? I had my version of you, right? I had my version of be like, yo, I'm gonna try to keep it under this, but I'm gonna do my best, and I would never do my fucking best, and it would always be an hour and a half, 2 hours, and then one day he was like, you edit your own episodes now. I got my shit together so well for him, so like. That's what you need to do. It works.
no, I'm gonna make you guys take turns editing the next couple episodes. Like the time
do
this week
it.
you're editing it. This is your timeline. You got to get it out
Give him a
next
time.
week. Alex,
got-
it's your time.
I'm gonna hunker down and do it.
You got 3 days. Like, you got 3 days. Here's half of the audio. Here's the other half. I want to go in an hour. I want to go 2 hours. Here's an hour each. All right.
Anime Studio Simulator.
Oh my god.
Nah,
Let's
it's
do it.
there is. I mean, it may not look like it sometimes, but I promise there is a lot of work that goes into what we do here, and a lot of it does come just from a passion that we have. It's funny though, like when we first started doing the podcast, we regularly had episodes that would go on for 2.5, 3 hours. And then like when John started editing our podcast, we kind of dialed that back a little bit, and to where we very consciously try to do episodes that are an hour and a half or less, like between 45 to an hour and a half. Like that's usually
That's a good space.
that's usually
like
where our
good-
podcasts fall. And I think, while I don't think we've ever actually discussed this like in depth, it is more of a time frame for people who are working adults who happen to be anime fans. They can actually, that's a time frame every week that I think they can commit to something. Like 45 minutes to an hour, hour and a half.
On the bus, on the way to work, or whatever.
Yeah.
Y'all way better than my team, yo. I'll be mad as fuck, yo. Get done. I'm out here pursuing dreams. I'm coming back. What are you guys doing? That's a good question. What are we
Playing Elden Ring.
It's like
Playing Elden Ring.
I'm telling you. I'm about to convert sides, yo.
We love having you.
Yeah,
on.
we fucking love having you. 4-hour podcast one day. One day we're just gonna get on here and do a WTF that lasts for 12 hours. I swear to God.
I mean, again, Otakon in person. I mean,
If you live stream it, I feel like it wouldn't be that terrible of an idea.
yeah.
Like you got like if you I mean, if you're playing something while you're live streaming,
Yeah.
like
It'd be yeah.
Or we could just have people come and go like as they're available. It'd be great.
My buddy, do a live. Just have it be while you're editing the podcast. You just talk and like.
Yeah.
Just be like John. It's like, hold on, shut up. I gotta do this. I gotta fix this real quick.
If
Yeah.
he got himself deafened the whole time, so you just hear him editing. It's like, man, it's probably mad as fuck.
That actually would be kind of funny if the rest of us were talking and we had John like in a little box in the bottom editing the podcast, and every so often we just see him go. With no context or anything, it's just every so he's just like,
Goddamn Mike peeking again.
then he'll hear someone knock their microphone and we'll just see him go, God damn it. Yeah. Yeah. And we do love having you on, Burger. It's always fun.
I feel so bad sometimes because like I'll be like, damn, I'm super busy, and like I feel like you'll be like, hey, and I won't respond until like you follow up with me and like, so how about it? And I was like, yeah, I'll do it. Just remind me the day before. so I'll do it.
That's why I did that last night. It's like, wait, he hasn't responded to this yet. Let me give him a reminder.
Yep, because I most definitely was like, okay, I can do that. Yeah, I appreciate it. It got me working. John, I feel you, man. Everybody hates Burger too sometimes. I'm working off of 2 hours of sleep, and like I ran out of protein. So I don't got nothing to help me from the gym. So I'm sore as fuck right now.
Oh no.
I know that feeling.
No, my dude.
My wife over here beating me up. She over here being like, "Yeah, put your arm over your head." I'm like, "Don't be like that." Don't be like that.
We here at Anime Club After Dark do not condone domestic violence.
Oh, so you love domestic violence. What are you talking about? No.
Oh fuck.
All right, I do think we're gonna go ahead and end it there. Thank you everyone who came out to watch this WTF episode. Thank you Burger again for joining us. Check out Geeks in the City. That's his podcast.
Yeah.
I've added links below in the description where you can check him out. They're pretty cool too.
I would like to think we're pretty cool. Check out Geeks in the City. We have a webtoon called Living with the Geeks. And, follow me on Twitter. I do events with voice actors that are free to everyone to come, so you never know who might show up.
Yeah. You want to like hawk the closing credits thing while you're here?
Oh, I mean, yeah, sure, why not, right? So
I mean, you do kind of work for them.
yeah, I guess I am an instructor. So I'm a teacher at Closing Credits, where they teach everything VA related, voice acting 101. So if you ever want to be a voice actor, want to see what it's like, it's a great place to get started. But if you don't have money, you can go on the website at closingcredits.com, and we do free events literally they are working me to the bone. Where we speak to like voice actors and like you can ask some real stuff. So taxes, hey, what's it like, and what do I need, and it's pretty cool. So go check that out if you like.
It's awesome.
And tell them that I sent you so they give me a fucking break
and a raise.
Yeah, please. Well, I don't want to say that because then we'll give you this raise, but here's 60 more hours with it, and it's like, yeah. Money's a great factor to be like, great, you're making more. So that means you'll do more shit. It is like,
No.
technically, yeah. So here's triple times the work you would do. And it's like, oh, fuck.
What have I gotten myself into? What have I done?
By that time I got reincarnated into another world as a fucking voice actor.
Well, no, John, they've done a vending machine isekai. They could do a microphone isekai. The time
Listen,
I got reincarnated as a
They've
microphone
done a smartphone isekai.
in a voice acting studio.
The vending machine one's not bad, okay? I actually think it's really funny, but
You shitting me?
Yeah.
no, it's pretty funny. He's a vending
Oh
machine.
wow, okay.
Anyway, do check the description below where you can also find Anime Club After Dark on we're on Twitch, on social media, on Discord. Join our Discord server if you haven't, as long as you're 18 plus. That's where you can ask us questions. You can interact with us every single day. Sometimes you have to tag Natai because he's a bitch. I mean, what? He's too busy with the goats. He's too busy with the goats.
I refrain from commenting on your despicable behavior.
When I was streaming Skyrim last night, I accidentally killed a goat, and I was like, "Oh, sorry, Natai."
That's why I woke up in the middle of the night.
He felt the pain.
She felt the
I
pain.
was like,
I felt a great disturbance in the force, as if millions of goats suddenly cried out, and all were silent.
Oh. Why am I thinking of Daniel Bryan all of a sudden? What's going on?
Oh, Jesus. We also have a merch store where you can check that out. Any purchases you made there do really, really help us out. With that, I have been your host, Alex, and I will see you next time. Say goodnight, everybody.
Good night.
Good night. Hold on, before we go.
oh no.
Megamine
again.
stares into your soul.
Thanks, Alex. Now I'll never be able to sleep again.